I'm hurting my nose. The black keys are really painful. Okay, let me explain this. So I'll have to do a share screen pretty quickly, but we have, to begin this episode of Dave's Gone By, our 992nd episode. Ooh, I didn't turn on the sign. Haha. There we go. The Dave's Gone By Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the stream. Yeah, we enjoy watching the things that crop up on X, and we don't do TikTok. Is it Instagram, X, or TikTok? Which is the more? Facebook?
Oh, Blue Sky.
Is Blue Sky actually doing the thing?
No, I usually look on Facebook, but I don't have your phone.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying among the funny, amazing, insane things. So picture this.
When I can't sleep, I usually look on Reels. They're Reels where it's an algorithm that looks for your interest, and then it gives you what you like more of. And apparently that's what I enjoy watching.
So I'm going to share my screen so that you guys can watch. Imagine you've got what?
David, you got me the one that's got my two favorite things.
Okay, explain.
It has the lamp, and look at this. My fruit bowl is the favorite.
Oh, yay.
That's my all-time favorite.
Yeah. These are these little round bowl things made by Zuru. They're tiny little toys, and my wonderful wife, who's with us, loves them and collects and stuff like that. So I got her a couple new ones. But anyway, how did that happen? Oh, I think it automatically turns off if you don't touch it. So imagine that you're waking up from serious surgery. Like you're been under anesthetic for, a hysterectomy. And I know I've had a couple of hysterectomies, and it's not fun. And you're sort of in this twilight state. A lot of times you wake up for a minute or two, and then you go back to sleep for a half hour, and then you really start to come out of the, at least anesthetic that's keeping you asleep. So it's a thing. You're in a hospital. It's a heavy thing. And how would you like to be woken up from a deep sleep after some procedure?
I'd like a nice cup of tea and maybe like a little hug.
Yeah. This is the idea. I'm going to make this a little, I don't know if I can make it bigger. No, this is as big as it is, but I think you can see it.
David, everybody, but don't forget these are children and they might enjoy that.
That is not a child. If that's a child, it's a teenager.
They wake children.
Oh, maybe it's a child. I can never tell with Asians. Asians, they always look somewhere between 8 years old and 88.
Well, I think, who knows? It's the interwebs. It doesn't even have to be real. I mean, let's be honest.
This looks like a hospital. This looks like it's a...
But it doesn't... Okay, it could be AI, and it doesn't mean that the picture's related to the task. We know that, right?
Oh.
So it could be anything.
I hope this is not AI. I don't know what the hell this is, but this girl has just obviously had a procedure.
Oh, God. Jesus.
Coming out of sleep to this.
Oh, he's a good player. That's good.
Well, yeah, it's very avant-garde.
What's the thing the zither, that thing that they used to do to get that thing that made that sound? It was like a magician's thing.
Oh, it could be a harp.
No, it was like a machine they made. Oh, it's some kind of box they make that makes that sound like...
No, I don't know what that is.
You do.
No.
Not a zither. It's some kind of instrument that they make magicians that makes that...
I'm thinking like harp. Yeah.
No, it's not a real instrument.
Well, let's watch this again. This is I guess a Shetland pony, because it's a tiny little horse.
No, they said it was a donkey.
Oh, it's a donkey. Oh, sorry.
Pony or who?
It might be a donkey.
You gotta get these facts right.
In a hospital room, because that's so sanitary.
It is, because they're not gonna make... How do they not make doo-doo?
Well, it's a hospital. At least they have somebody to clean it up if it does.
I guess.
And then there's some guy laughing. He cuts to himself, which is really unnecessary. It's like, we don't want to see you, asshole. We want to see the horse.
Maybe it's a therapy donkey or horse. I like it. You know, if I was a kid in the hospital and I was scared, I would like a horse to be with me.
I would
feel
love
very soothed by
to wake up to a
horse.
cute little horse, a pony, a little piglet maybe,
if they
but
don't-
not
if
doing
they-
this.
And they can't do voodoo on the people. That's not nice.
Yeah,
either.
nor can they knock things over. I mean, it's
Are
a
they knocking
horse.
things over and making voodoo?
No, he's not.
Okay.
But this video of him lasts about 5 seconds.
We don't know what's happening the rest of that time.
3 seconds, honestly,
There
yeah.
could be a lot of
Yeah.
doo-doo making and a lot of other stuff as well.
It's like, remember the Family Guy episode where Lois is like, Pega, you brought home a retarded horse? And it smashes into the wall and pees.
Well, I think it must be messy. Animals, you can't control your doo-doo. If he has to doo-doo, he's going to doo-doo in the hospital.
Oh, yeah, well, he might be. It shows him wearing like a therapy
Diaper?
blanket,
Well,
but
maybe he's wearing a diaper. They probably diaper him.
would not be shocked.
Diaper him because the hospital wouldn't let him in if he's making duty over.
Well, wait. This is a question.
Yeah.
If you go visiting in a hospital and you have like a therapy
Yeah.
German Shepherd,
Yeah.
do those wear diapers wherever they go?
No, but they might be trained.
Well, yeah. Well, I assume this baby horse, which has obvious musical abilities.
Well, I would not say that. I don't even know if he's playing. That could be somebody else playing an instrument. How do we know it's the horse doing it?
No, it's not. Whoa, no. The horse's nose. You can see
it? Okay.
the horse's nose
Okay, I'm
going
sorry.
over
Okay,
the
I know you're
keyboard.
very attached to this, David. I'm
So
sorry.
I want to do what I'm going to do. It's very brief, but I'm going to try doing a duet
Oh,
with the horse.
oh, nice, honey.
He's taken basically the melody line. I'm going to try and do a bass line here. Not a very low bass. Or oh, here we go.
Which is you and which is the horse? It's very confusing.
And my wife is asking this thing has nothing to do with music. But ladies and gentlemen, that is our way of beginning this 992nd episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the stream.
Oh, look who wants to join. Why'd you put my paint on the wall?
Because I needed something in there small and in between with colorful. Oh, okay, well, one at a time. This may stick.
Yeah,
We also start
it's
every...
hard to tell with the weather, yeah.
Well, what? Yeah. We start every episode with a sloth
Okay.
being thrown. Here we go. Good job, sloth. Oh, nice throw.
I'm throwing an underhand, that's better.
Yeah, here we go.
Underhand's a better
Here's
play.
another one. Here, speaking of underhand, these are underpants. The sloth sticks to the wall.
Ooh.
Very good. Uh-oh, here's another one.
Throwing is
This one's got no oomph. This one I doubt will stick at all. I'm going to try him. I'm going to try.
Oh!
Yeah, no, he died. Okay, let's do this one. This one. Oh, he might. This might still have a little oomph on him.
Oh! I also think it's your...
Can't even see him. Yeah.
Sometimes you have a good... Here, a
Oh!
better, like you have more power in your throw.
Well, if I feel it's got no oomph, I gotta give it a good gazats. Here we go.
I see that.
Yeah. Oh, baby.
Oh, I heard something fall back. Okay.
No, that was good. That was me smacking my hands in joy.
I know you like... Is underhand throw better for you, babe?
Yeah, I'm catching him. I'm catching him. Here we go. Here's a.
Honey?
I guess it. I don't know. I don't want to know what the thing does.
Remember when in our old house we had the speaker that was possessed? Tell them, that was freaky.
Oh, look at them. Very good. It's like the Walendas up there. Here we go.
You only have like a couple.
Oh, he's not gonna. Look at this. This one's not gonna watch.
Don't tell you to psych him out.
We'll take a look here.
Whoa!
Oh!
Oh! Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Here's another. This one might stick. This one might be all right. Another sloth. Yeah, baby. Why don't you try throwing it at the walls?
I don't think I can't do that far. I can't.
All right.
Only three more, baby.
Here's another one.
And then which feeling?
Oh, that one went bad. Oh.
What's your emotion today? Because you have your finger puppets. What do you feel?
I'm in good shape. I feel consanguinary. Here. What's that? Oh, we have... He's not going to stick on the wall, but he's very cute. We like him. Okay.
Do this for your little... You put that on for the donkey, because that's what...
Oh,
When
there's...
they woke up, yeah.
Here. This is
You
another...
could reenact it with him.
Here we go.
Like
The horse is
no,
better.
that's the sleeping child.
Oh, not anymore. Not, and he just woke up, I'll tell you that.
Good HMO. Hold on.
More sloths coming, all right.
One more after this, yeah.
All right, he might. He's got some stick. Hold on, here we go. Yeah, baby.
Oh, last one.
Last one. Well, I have one here I haven't thrown yet. There we go.
Okay.
Oh, baby!
Whoa!
And this one. Oh, well, he fell faster than Malcolm Jamal Warner.
No, we didn't. We got that rip current, I think.
Anyway. Yeah, Dave's Gone By, which mixes humor, interviews, culture, and whatever the hell this is. So, sloth throwing, it is. Oh, look, it's like I have a little crown.
Oh, they look pretty. Look, they're in some kind of, did you want to do that formation? Look at
No,
that.
it's literally random. I toss it and it goes in that
They
area.
look like they're doing like a...
Yeah,
You did a great job. Maybe because you're tossing in the same angle. I don't know.
it could be.
But,
Anyway, let me get this maybe a little bit higher. I'll pull you back now, a little bit lower. There we go. On this Saturday, July 26th, 2025,
wow.
we're doing yet another episode of the Dave's Gone By program, and thrilled to have you here Saturday from 9 until noon or thereabouts. Saturday. So what's going to be on this episode of the show besides all this joy? So, among other things we're going to do, we have Greeley Times.
I like that. Honey.
You didn't tell I'm turning this thing off.
Tell them the story about the possessed speaker.
Well, yeah, I don't remember it that well.
A speaker that was supposed to just project like foofing noises, like flatulence. And so you're like, let's put it on the landing. That would be fun. So we put it on the landing, and unless we got someone's baby monitor, it used to just make, like sounds and started making noise and like beeping, and there was nothing.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't even farting. It was making weird, like, static noises.
All sorts of things, and there was no reason. Like, none of us were doing that. It just sort of decided, hey, that's something I'd like to do as your instrument there, yeah.
Well, instruments can have a certain amount of sentience.
I guess. That one, who's to make it?
Oh, yeah, they're falling. Look at them. Oh, that one's... There's something going on there. Oh, he's done.
Oh, well, there you go.
30 seconds and he's done. Typical male.
For sloths, that's pretty quick, because aren't they slow, like...
That's true.
Slow rolling creatures.
Sloths haven't even gotten the condom on yet, so there they go. They're falling. Oh, this guy's got his arm wiggling. We'll keep tabs on them.
Wow, look how they separated so quickly.
It happens.
I mean, I will say for sloths, these guys do move pretty quick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you've seen them make them. Maybe I'll sit over here so you can kind of watch them a little better. No, ooh, did you see that one?
Well, oh no.
He just flipped down. Oh, yeah.
He's got one arm on. That disturbs me.
Yeah.
When they're hanging on by so little, it means they're usually going to fall.
which basically goes for everybody alive right now. Oh, there we go. Ooh. So, Greeley Times, because my wife and I lived in Colorado for...
Who's the guest, honey?
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't mention it yet.
Okay,
We lived in Greeley, which is a town, city really, in northern Colorado. And while we were there, and even still, the newspaper there is called the Greeley Tribune. And one column that they have every week in the Trib has to do with people calling the police department, going, help, send the cop, something weird's going on in the neighborhood. And a lot of those are funny.
To chat sometimes. I don't think.
Oh, yeah, or they want to talk to a supervisor.
Or they just want to ask things. It's not really a lot of times for urgent help.
Thank God. Yeah.
It's like some sort of question, or they're very vague, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I just bought, I don't know, a gun. Can I bring this into an elementary school? I don't intend to use it, but if I happen to walk by an elementary school...
Like, please tell my child he has to be home by curfew, right?
Oh, they'll do that. They'll absolutely do that.
A lot, yeah.
So, the newspaper takes the funniest ones, because I guess it's public information, and prints them every week in a column they call Cop Log. We call it Greeley Times. So we'll share the best of those with you this week. Also, we will have our possibly, it's been a while. I bought two pair. We splurged. I bought 2 pair of shoes this week, which makes it, I think, an ideal time to revive Bunion watch.
Oh, wow, okay.
Haven't done that in a few weeks now.
Okay.
It's where I hold my feet. Yep, I hold my feet up to the camera and show you the size, shape, color, and smell. You have to scratch the screen of my bunions. So yeah, pretty cool, right? And so Bunion Watch is also on the program. Colorado Limerick of the Damned. This is a poem that I write and have written more than 300 times about dozens and dozens
Same
and...
poem.
No, not the same poem. I'm not like Bart Simpson on the blackboard rewriting the same limerick over and over.
What concern when you said that, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a Colorado Limerick of the Damned that has delightful, sick, tasteless, perverted, degenerate fun with the name of a town, a city, an unincorporated bird.
How do you choose them?
Honestly, at this point, because back in the day, I'd look on a map, I'd see it mentioned, whatever, but once you've written 300 of these, as I have, it's basically going to a Wikipedia page called Populated Places in Colorado, which has hundreds. You wouldn't figure a state, that's not the biggest state of the union, not the most... I mean, Colorado's pretty populated and pretty industrial.
It has a lot of people.
But you would be... the number of neighborhoods, towns, ghost towns, name-changed towns that were something, it goes into the hundreds of every single state of the union. You would never know it, because when you're a kid, what do? You learn the state capital and the most important city or two of a state. And it's like Dover, Delaware, Wilmington, Delaware.
Yeah.
Where else, right?
Yeah.
Even New York. I'm still learning about places in Westchester and upstate New York. Never. I lived in New York for 30-something years. Never a thought to all these places that are, and forget about neighborhoods.
Is it only because you've not been there, you think?
Well, if you've been there, you know,
If
yeah.
you've not been there, that's why you're...
Yeah. Yeah, if you've never been, there could be a town 25 miles away, and you're like, what, there's Glencoe, Maryland?
That's true.
Yeah.
Sometimes people tell me and I don't know the name, I'm like, oh, it's like 2 miles up on the main street. And they're like, no, that's called Doodly-Doo Town. I'm like, oh, but it's just, like, we don't know, like, the neighborhoods, like, where people say. I'm like, I don't know what that is. They're like, oh, it's 2 miles away. I'm like, oh, and we know. Or we've been there, but we just don't know the name of it.
Well, we went to that coffee shop a couple of weeks ago, and where's this? Just go up this road. Oh, so it's still in, but no, it's in Sparks.
I know, but that was, like, weird because to me it was the same.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like a different place, but the names are different, I guess, where you go different places, the names change, right?
Now, if we stay in Maryland, and I live in Maryland long enough, it may be I have to stop doing the Colorado limericks and start doing the Maryland.
Well, you should do New York next and then get to Maryland.
Oh, because
that should be the...
I'm thinking Maryland like, there once was a lady from Sparks who liked to give blowjobs in parks. But I need another arcs. See, that's the hard part, is finding that third rhyme. Yeah, darks. Oh, she was arrested by narcs. See, this is why I have to pre-write these things and not do them off the top of my head. But anyway, we do have one from Colorado, our Colorado Limerick of the Damned, and that is for Cable, Colorado. So we'll tell you a little bit about the town of Cable, Colorado, and then have a disgusting poem.
It'd be like that guy who just, picks a place and goes like, Trenton, and just says like.
Well, the difference is that I try and really put a lot of effort into these to make them rhyme, to make them scan, to make them funny. He has 26,000 songs where he sits at the keyboard, looks at a Wikipedia page.
AI could do it. Yeah. If you gave AI, she could probably do a songbook for you too.
But does AI get like R-rated and X-rated? Like if you tell AI to do a pornographic...
We pay for the free one. I'm sure if you get maybe if you get the one, like there's all sorts of AI, but I'm sure, look at him. He's like, da!
I'm saying, dear ChatGPT, please write me a story about octopus Japanese tentacle porn.
I mean, I don't know what they'll...
And include Beatrice Arthur,
Well, maybe.
Now,
I think there's a whole ChatGPT that's just dedicated to Beatrice Arthur.
Now revise it and make it hotter and put it in rhyme. Go! Yeah. Save me hours and hours of labor. It basically completely eliminates the need for people like Ogden Nash and...
No, because it's very boring. Like, AI will say delve, like, I'm like, please take out your AI, you words, like delve, evolve, like, and they say the M dash is a tell for AI, but I like M dash. That's just.
I love M dashes.
Me too. I think probably from living with you, I've learned to love it.
Not to mention, in all my years as a critic and as a writer, there's that rule, not the comedy rule of three, but the other rule of three. It's this, and this, right? So you have three examples of something, this, comma, and this. But AI does that incessantly. So I can't tell if it's somebody actually writing the way I've always written, or it's AI thing of like, and this, and this, and this, and this. It's like,
who's the guest, David? I lost.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We didn't.
I lost the.
Yeah, haven't mentioned this yet, but here's. The guest on Dave's Gone By today, July 26, 2025, is a playwright, also a voice actress, sometimes more back in the day an actress, but she has a play.
What, a voice actress?
Yeah, she does voiceovers, commercial work. She does announcing and things like that. Oh, and a lot of reading books for the blind and books for the non-blind.
Now they're probably on the tablet, for tablet.
Oh, yeah, exactly. For and the computer and for the car still. So her name is Sara Farrington.
Okay.
Sara Farrington.
Is that her real name?
That is her married real name.
I like it.
Oh, yeah. Well, she's married. Actually, she's married to a set designer and a theater maker named Reed Farrington. I think they had a theater company or something for a bit. But she and Reed have been together for a while. And she has had some success and notoriety as a playwright, including an adaptation of Euripides' The Trojan Women called A Trojan Woman that has been boiled down. And that show has been... It's right, yeah. It's just the 12-minute version. It's just, a bunch of women come out and say, our husbands are dead and we're getting captured and raped. Daga, 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 daga. Hope you like our show. Which is basically the Trojan Women. But...
Is that how the song goes too?
That's how I adapted the song. Yeah, they actually end with Yes, We Have No Bananas.
Oh, wow.
As they did when they used to do Greek tragedies.
Right, that's what I assumed, yeah.
No, really, honest to God. They would do these Greek plays, and then at the end of them, I'm not talking back in the ancient times, I'm talking like 80-something, 70 years ago. And then as a way to lift everybody's spirits and come out of them, they would do a bawdy, ridiculous, kind of phallic.
Shakespeare.
Yeah.
That they always had, like, in many of the Shakespearean plays, they were very dark, which I liked. And then I didn't like the scenes where they'd have the grave diggers drunk, falling in the grave.
Oh, the comedy
but
things.
That was the comic relief.
You need it. You absolutely need it.
I don't like it, but I learned about it.
Yeah. And I think it's important. I mean, unless the play, like Hamlet, is 4.5 hours and without a little bit of the gravedigger banter, it'd be 4:25. But A Trojan Woman, by the way, is not 4.5 hours long. It's about, I think, under 90. And you can see it if you're speaking of places in New York, at Vassar in Poughkeepsie, New York, this weekend. So I think it started last night, and they're playing through mañana. I don't have that in front of me, but it's at the Vassar Powerhouse Theater in Poughkeepsie, New York. It's A Trojan Woman, which is written by Sara Farrington. She has a bunch of other plays, too, that she'll talk about. So we want to bring her into the Daverhood because I think we're going to have a whole lot of fun with her, talking about her work, her career, her life in and out of New York and stuff. Plus, the interview is going to be conducted not by yours truly, of course not by yours truly, but by the one, the only, the Jewish Rabbi Sol Solomon, who was with us on our very first episode all those years ago. I'm going to bring this light a little bit closer.
It does seem further away today.
Yeah, here we go. Oh, stark. Let's get this going, too.
Yeah, do you want the fan or anything?
Oh, that's better. Yeah, we're good now. Rabbi Sol, who does most of our interviews these days, and we're very proud. I don't know if proud is the word, but we're very proud and happy about that. So Rabbi Sol talking to Sara Farrington later on this episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio Podcastio Programmio of the Stream. And I know, I'm going to leave this one up to you, because we have options for both. but would you rather have story time or Dave's Big Dictionary?
You tell whatever you want. It's your show.
I'm feeling dictionary.
Yeah,
I'm feeling talkative to that, as if I'm not ever.
It's whatever you feel. I mean, whatever you feel works with the show.
Yeah, so Dave's Big Dictionary is a segment that we
Did
start.
you bring the thing to write, or we don't have the little...
Oh, I think it's
okay.
there somewhere.
That's okay.
Dave's Big Dictionary, we used to, when we first started it, we would thumb through the dictionary, come up with a word completely at random, and then, and this would be live on the show.
Yes.
And then I would have to, in a little while, talk for about 5 minutes or so about whatever came into my mind. It was a way for me to be truly extemporaneous. Well, I'm not going to say a Dada version of what I do, but sort of a challenge.
You okay?
Of me being able, yeah, good, thanks. Of me being able to talk humorously and amusingly on the fly about whatever.
Yeah.
Well, we're still doing that, but the randomness is a little bit less random because we're allowing, so actually it's almost more random, we're allowing Merriam-Webster to call the shots because every day they come up with a different
Every day when I'm...
Wake my way to the dictionary. I find a word that's funny or kind of sunny or scary. Word of the day. So they choose one, and now we do. Oh, I think this is the. Oh, good. What a good word.
What's the word?
Oh, today's
Good
word
word, sir.
for Dave's Big Dictionary is embellish.
Ooh, that's a nice word.
To embellish something is to make it more appealing or attractive with fanciful or decorative details. To embellish. Very nice. Okay, I can do that word. That should be... So I have to think of just something to talk about and go on about for a little bit regarding the word embellish.
Yeah.
So all of it... Oh, see, this is what happens to my hair. We comb it and then it goes... Whoop,
Fruit.
there it is.
Fruit.
But notice, my wife is right. You know, if I grow my hair out a little bit, it looks darker.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
It's like it looks like it has, thank you, it has less
Thank you.
gray
It looks beautiful.
than it is. So,
Beautiful with the furry hair.
oh, thank you. There's one woman in the world who thinks I'm beautiful, and thank God I married her. So that,
You married your mother?
good one. Anywho, before we get to what we'll be getting to, what do we want to talk about? What's some stuff that happened to...
Stuff happens all the time in our lives.
Well, that is true, but stuff we can talk about or want
Well, I
to.
know you're sad. Wait, okay.
I'm sad.
Who haven't you seen in a while?
Oh. Oh, please. Well, no, you're not dressed in a way
I
that
can't
can.
do that.
I would love this. That's so funny.
Do it. There you go. That's him.
If you can't tell, I'm sure you can tell. I'm making fun of our friendly backyard groundhog. We hadn't seen him for almost a year. He had disappeared, and then early in July or late in June, he came out, and he was out. I mean, he was just all around the backyard, eating, stopping, eating, stopping, eating, stopping, and then whenever anything spooked him, he'd just zip back towards our shed, because that's where he lives. He tunnels his way under our shed out in the backyard. My wife hates him. I like him, except I haven't seen what's under the shed, but I think he's very cute. Okay, fine. And then, this whole week, gone. I don't know if he's already hybrid, because this must be like a groundhog with mental problems. This is a whistle pig.
He's gone. He always does the wrong time. Like he's like they say, oh, groundhogs hibernate in spring, and he's out and about. I think he's just.
Yeah, well, no, he was gone until late. He should have been out in March.
He lived with the foxes, and
Yeah.
they didn't kill him. And then
Or
I asked
maybe
my
now.
neighbor. Remember, I asked the neighbor. I said, why didn't they kill him? And the neighbor said, because he's so fat.
Yeah, he's so big he
And I
could
say
fend
that
for
I'm
himself.
fat, so
Yeah.
I can say it, but they said because he was so fat that they couldn't eat him. So he survived because he was chunky.
Yeah, he survived because he was chunky. Like 3 weeks ago, we saw him, and we couldn't tell if he was the same one from a year or two ago because he was thinner. It didn't look necessarily look like a groundhog. They all look like groundhogs, but we couldn't tell if it was the same whistle pig that we've been seeing months earlier. And then he just started eating and eating the grass and eating and eating and eating. And we're like, and in 3 days he got fat.
I don't know if he's a he even.
They got fat again. And so, it's him or her. It's them. But then,
we're assuming.
Haven't seen it at all in the past week. And I don't know, I'm a little gloomy about it. I miss him. Yeah. One of the joys of having a backyard and having wildlife that isn't doing a lot of destruction is viewing them. Not knowing that they're there. You don't want them to be completely invisible and doing damage. At the very least, you want to enjoy their physicality while they're there. So when deer come in, and I still saw a deer or two this week, they come in, they take a shit on the lawn, and then they move on. But at least you get to watch them for a moment in their magnificence, because deer are just beautiful animals. And you watch them, and they stare at you, and they do a squat. And yes, they're shitting on your lawn, but they're so beautiful. They're like, thank you. Here's the exchange. I get your scat, but at least you give me this visual beauty of what you're doing before you go off. And every once in a while, they sleep on our lawn overnight. It's the most magnificent thing. I'm thrilled, right? I see bunnies. I'm sure bunnies are crapping all over the place, too. We just don't see it on a lawn. If you take a bunny home and you have a bunny as a pet, you know that they that they scat everywhere. But on the lawn, it's like we don't pay attention. No, there's a bunny that's eating. It's eating the flowers. We don't have a vegetable garden, but if we did, the bunnies would be not so welcome. We have birds. We love seeing our cardinals and the occasional, I haven't seen a blue jay in a while. Lots of doves.
I could talk forever.
But that's the beauty of it. So groundhog, if you're there, before, it's summer is just a month old. Literally. Everybody thinks, summer's over. And I warned you about this. On July 5th, I said, after July 4th holiday, the stores pull all that stuff off the shelves and Halloween goes up. Back to school goes up. People, professors and teachers at lower school levels, they're already, oh, God, my syllabus, my first meeting, the emails are coming, got to get ready this and curriculum and this. On July 5th, summer at that point, technically, seasonally, is only 2.5 weeks old out of 3 months. And yet everybody feels like, it's July, summer's over. Joey Chestnut ate the hot dogs, summer is now over. And get that feeling. Even though yesterday it was 98 degrees here. And it was about as far from autumnal as you could possibly freaking get. But anyway, what brought this on? How did I get back to this?
You just do. I don't know.
I just do.
Sometimes you just...
Yeah. Well, just the fact that why is a groundhog perhaps hibernating in the middle of July?
He's hibernating because of climate change or something?
Maybe. But if they're hibernating through the winter, they must like the warm weather. I don't know. Anyway, but no, I am sad that we have not seen our friend, or your enemy, my semi-friend.
I don't dislike him. I don't like him. I think he's gonna. I think he's just sometimes super naughty.
Now, speaking of things that you don't like, and that's what I just love to talk about. So I've had, and this is going on for a few years now, I have some kind of occasional flare-ups of a skin condition, right? No, you can't say no, it's not unsightly or anything like that, but it's some kind of atopic dermatitis that will flare and then unflare. I never had it truly properly diagnosed, even though I went to 2 different dermatology places and doctors back in New York. But it's like, try this steroidal creams, try this, all crap. So it sometimes flares up, and I fully admit I am culpable in this regard, because if I itch, I scratch. I'm not one of those guys who's like, I don't care how much it itches. Use your willpower, don't scratch. And it'll be in my head for 2 seconds, and then I'll be like, which only makes it worse. It only makes it like scab up and flare up. In fact, even when I had the rash looked at by years ago. They said, well, we can't really tell too much what it is or what's the main thing because you've scratched it and it's irritated, possibly infected, and therefore that's going to throw, I don't know why they can't tell whether it's irritated or not. If it's not irritated, it just looks like skin. So what, why is my scratching it?
That does seem a little sketchy.
Making it impossible to diagnose. It's like, oh, you have an open wound there. No, we until the wound heals, we won't. Yeah, idiots. So we've been using a CeraVe thing. It's on basically on my thighs at this point. A little bit on my legs, sometimes towards the knee. And it's not terribly, thank God, it's not horrible, blooming eczema where you can't look. It's just, it turned red, right? And they just get itchy, and I scratch them and they just get itchier and redder. But, so we've been trying these different things, including a special soap and this. And CeraVe, literally like eczema oil is what they call it, whether or not I have eczema or not. It's just more like dermatitis. So we have this oil, and it's I don't know if it's really doing that much work, but it feels nice when it goes on. And also, if you have crap on your leg, you're not going to scratch because it's like, I'm going to be touching this goo on my leg. I'm going to let it go. So at least for a few hours, I don't, and I'll pull on like long pajamas so that the oil doesn't get on the bedspread, doesn't get on my chair. So it is a way, in a basic level, even if the ointment is technically useless, it's having some use because it's keeping me from scratching. Fine, great. But my darling and adorable wife is a very kind soul, and is the daughter of a nurse. And so she volunteers nightly to slather me.
No, first I bathe you, then I slather.
Well, now with the soap, yeah. Before it was, but she slathers me with this CeraVe eczema ointment oil thing, which you can get at any Walgreens, and it's not prescription or anything. And I'm a sensitive sort, so I'm lying back. I'm on a towel so the ointment doesn't go everywhere. I'm there. I've got my undies. I've got my pants down because it's right. She's got to get up in like my quad and thigh area in order to wipe to smooth on, to push on this. She's got gloves on, to put on this special cream. And so sensitive am I. Now I'm needle phobic, and I'm scared of bees and wasps and hornets and things like that. I'm scared to the point of phobic. And there she is. So she takes the goo, this tube.
You're talking about your goo warmer?
Yes. I have a Shark Tank idea that someone will steal because I don't know how to put it. But she'll put this thing that's been in the bathroom, sitting there, in a room temperature house. But she put this on my leg, on my thigh. It goes roop, roop, roop. And it's almost like you ever drink ice water when your mouth is room temperature or your mouth is body temperature. And it's like, oh! Like, whoa, let's go, whoa! Well, ointment, amazingly enough, coming out of a tube, if it isn't going on your hand, or if it isn't going on like an elbow or something like that, if it's going on your thigh or something, and you feel it, it's like, ooh, that's cold. And I thought,
when you did that, the thing just fell.
The slots are all the way down. Look at that. Why doesn't someone invent an ointment warmer? Huh? So that when you that you go like to a massage therapist and it's putting usually the stuff they put on your back is warm, right? They're not saying, this is going to be cold. Ah! And then they rub it in. Somehow they've gotten that to a pleasant room temperature, as opposed to someone putting ice on your back. Where is the invention, my friends? We can bring people to the moon and back. The and back part always impresses me more than the getting to the moon, by the way. The fact that they can get up there and come back and land safely is astonishing. But how can someone please invent an ointment warmer? I don't know. Maybe it's like you warm a little pail of water
I could do it for you.
And you submerge the
I'll
tube.
try it tonight and you'll tell me.
No, but the problem is then you could, I don't know what that would do to
No,
the
you can't microwave it, but you can heat it up a little bit. Yeah.
I wonder.
I'm sure you could.
I wonder.
I'm sure you could.
But then would it more quickly corrupt the chemicals
Why don't you
in.
write the company a long email and see what they say?
I'm saying, yes. So I pose this as a challenge to you inventors out there. Can you come up with an ointment warmer? No, let's say you have a tube of ointment and you as the company can put in, say, a hot stick. You insert it down the tube, and somehow that stick maintains a temperature of 105 degrees, which warms the ointment all around it in the tube. So every time you squeeze out the ointment, the tube stays in, the stick stays in, but the ointment becomes nice and pleasantly warm. How do you don't seem,
No.
in fact, you get mad every time I bring it up, just every time you put ointment on me.
Yes.
Yeah, she does. I don't know. I think it's a genius idea. An ointment warmer. Yeah. Think about it. What else? What else are things that we can think about? Do we want to talk about? Do you care? I mean, I don't know. I'm of two minds about the whole Stephen Colbert thing.
I don't know. I don't.
I mean, for all the people who are complaining that it's a political hit job, that it has to do with CBS, and we saw the South Park episode, which was very funny. There's also all these people. When was the last time you actually watched an episode of Stephen Colbert Late Show? That's the real question I really want to ask. As someone who understands the unfairness of media and of the television and the movie and even the theater industry, as someone who says, hey, you were great last year, but your ratings were down a notch. Thanks so much, but too expensive, you're gone, right? How much of that is supposedly the network losing 40, 50 million bucks on the show versus, well, the network's losing 40, 50 million bucks on the show, but it's a really good show. He's very bright. He is the highest rated program still in late night, blah, 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 blah. So he's a jewel in the network crown. I'm sure they don't make a ton of money on the Tony Awards either, but the CBS has hosted the Tony Awards since like the 1970s. And even though ratings for most years have gone to little fluctuations, it went back up again this past time. But, it's the Tony Awards. CBS is the Tiffany network. We'll take the hit because we'll make the money back on other things. Paramount will make it doing whatever Paramount does. But, people are saying, and it may very well be true, that because the president is no fan of Stephen Colbert, that is the real reason why. And by the way, they're not pulling him off immediately. They're letting him have a whole other season. He's not getting 2 weeks' notice. He's getting like 11 months' notice. This is more like a professor who isn't getting tenure. You're essentially fired, but you can keep your job for a year until you find another one, right?
Good for him.
Yeah, it's incredibly good for him. And the guy's making like millions of dollars a year. I should only, I've quit jobs, I've been laid off, and I've been fired from jobs. I didn't get a year's notice. Certainly not. One or two times I was almost escorted out of the building. So, but at the same time, I think it's very funny when you read the commentary of people or the postings of people under the stories. The Republicans, of course, the MAGA people, who are saying, well, it's not entertaining anymore. He's so political. It's always about bashing Trump. It's always about making fun of Republicans. And it's like, if he hadn't done that, it would still be a good late show. And it's like, who are you talking about? This is Stephen Colbert.
I think it's also very hard because they're ratings, right? I don't think they're going to keep a show or cancel a show. I do think, of course, there's everything, but, I think it's all about money and ratings. That would be right. Usually.
I mean, there should be. And with CBS, there used to be other factors. It was kind of like, it's a lost leader. I mean, CBS News doesn't make, never, no news things usually, until they started having the opinion news channels, was making money. Like the news departments of the major networks, they were objects of pride. But the money was made in prime time.
Oh,
So, but with Colbert, it's just funny that they think that somehow Colbert was ever like neutral or neutral slightly left, neutral slightly right. It's like he came from the Daily Show.
Oh yeah.
He did, and then he had the Colbert Report for a few years, where he played a mock MAGA right-wing Republican, savagely mocking that night after night after night. And then they give him the Late Show, and at what point did they think Colbert was center? He was hired as someone who was completely far left, right? Even though he's a Catholic with kids. So I think that's pretty funny on both sides, to call him out for suddenly turning so left that you can't watch him. I mean, what was he in the beginning? It is exactly. I don't understand anything anymore. But I also just think it is. I would love to know, and I don't mean like a little clip on YouTube or a little clip on Instagram or Facebook or Blue Sky, wherever the hell people are posting, or TikTok of, oh, here's a funny 80 seconds by Stephen Colbert. When was the last time you went to CBS, if people even have regular television anymore, and watched an episode of Colbert? People will now. It's been really good for his ratings for like a couple of weeks.
It's not funny, right?
Yeah. And then in May, when he goes off the air, everybody will tune back in again. It's kind of like South Park. When was the last time anybody watched South Park? I think more recently and more often than Colbert. I think it's still the highest rated show on Comedy Central or something.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. But until this week, I was still delighted that South Park was still on the air after I think 27 years or something.
Right, that's a lot.
Thrilled that they're still punching away and being up to the moment and current. But then they got back in the news, and we saw the episode, not on Comedy Central because we don't get that channel, but very happy to see it, and it was funny, and it was, shocking. Really is. If you haven't seen the episode where they make fun of Donald Trump cuddling up to Satan and suing everybody who says anything bad about Donald Trump, it's good. It's really good. It's old school, like, not just funny, but moments where you go, I can't believe they're getting away with that, and they are, which is super duper, until they're not. Until Paramount, which I guess is merging with whatever this Skyfall thing, is then going to go to comment and say, you're done. I don't know. I still do this show. It's called Dave's Gone By. We've been doing it since October of 2002. We're coming up in a few weeks on our 1,000th episode. I've been trying to make inroads in terms of maybe going back to the radio station where I first started it, and have tried to get in touch with two different people there, like radio silence. Like, one guy didn't get back to me, another guy, I expect to get back to me, didn't get back. I'm like, hello. What am I chopping? If Howard Stern was calling, you pick up the fucking phone at 4 a.m. on a Friday.
Is your phone ringing?
Is it?
I don't know.
No, I think I just moved the
I felt
table.
something vibrate.
Well, yeah. But I will keep you posted as to plans regarding what we're gonna do for our 1,000th episode. It's still about two or 3 months away, right? Because this is 992. We're at the end of July. So August and September are going to go by. We're hoping, if plans work out, to do it the first week in October, which will also dovetail with when we first went on the air. In October 6, 1992 was our very first episode. So on and around that date, I would really love to start our 24th season with our 1,000th show. We'll see. Everything's kind of up in the air as we're on air on the Dave's Gone By Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the stream. Your thoughts? Before we get to Greeley Times and Sara Farrington and Rabbi Sol Solomon and Bunion Watch and the Colorado Limerick of the Damned for cable and Dave's Big Dictionary for Embellish. Any thoughts on Oz? Babe?
What?
Any thoughts on Ozzy?
It's sad. I think, but I wonder if he knew, because why would you, I don't know, the timing to me is just a bit off, right? Why do you have this big event and then he dies, right?
like 2 weeks later.
No, and I understand that. I understand why that happens with a lot of people, but I wonder if people knew more than they were like.
Was he given like, hey, you only have a couple of weeks left?
If you're going to do something.
Although your first instinct was that they
Suicide,
were,
yeah.
physician assisted,
Suicide, yeah.
which they wouldn't say if they really did, I guess. Maybe they would.
I don't know. People do, but I don't know what they. I mean, they mind because they're celebrities, right? Like.
They can do anything in any country and any place. And maybe they did it, and if they did it in a certain area of this country, they can't say it because the doctor would get in trouble.
I don't know.
Because he had, what was it, Parkinson's? He had very severe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew someone who had very mild Parkinson's, but he was no great shakes. Ribbit. Where's that drum? There you go. Thank you very much. But, yeah, the Ozman is gone. It's interesting, though, how, when you want to say people, everybody bitches from generation to generation, the downgrading of culture, how things have been, after Sinatra and Tony Bennett, music went down to this. And after, the folks who loved music from the 60s, like, well, after the Beatles and the Stones, music went down to this. Well, now, after Nirvana, music is down. Every generation says it. But I do think this week kind of points up a bit of the degradation of culture in America and in the world. Because a couple of weeks ago, as you remember, I'm sure, within 2 days of each other, Sly Stone and Brian Wilson both passed away.
Yeah.
Right? Now, they both have fairly short windows in which they did their genius work. But the work that they did in those windows was music changing, culture changing. Sly Stone, with Sly and the Family Stone, a couple of, about 12 to 20 of their songs are staggering. They're among the greatest things that pop music has created, right? And then Brian Wilson, first as an arranger and harmonist and figuring out how things should sound, and then into the songwriting in the Pet Sounds era, which was all too short, but still major, wonderful people in terms of what they contribute, in terms of their personal lives, in terms of the drugs they took, and in terms of their mental illnesses. That's one thing, that is unfortunate and reminds us all of Mr. Mackey. Drugs are bad, good. They're bad. So, but those two titanic forces in music passing away within days of each other told you something about the 1960s and the level of music and art and talent there. And then this week, who did we lose? We lost Ozzy Osbourne and Hulk Hogan, right? I'm not saying, nothing against Ozzy Osbourne. He's a legend. He's incredible. But had he not done that TV show, had he not become Crazy Uncle Ozzy, that we all loved, and that, one word made him, transformed him from a has-been rocker.
One word that made him.
Oh, you know.
Sharon?
Well, Sharon's the same. Bubbles.
Was Bubbles his monkey?
No. And I think it was the first episode of Back Home with the Osbournes, or whatever the hell they called it. He's getting ready to go on tour. And so he's backstage, and they're showing him the set, the lighting, the pyrotechnics. And then he sees a bubble machine.
Oh.
And I think it's on MTV. And the bubble machine is going and throwing all these bubbles. And he gets up, and he's like, Bubbles? What's it? I mean, they're bleeping it because it's coming. But what's a fucking... I'm the Prince of Darkness. I can't have fucking bubbles. It was the greatest line in history. And it threw on its head this whole idea of Ozzy's satanic bat-biting guy. And just made him like, oh, he's freaking hilarious. And also brought him into our living rooms every week. We got to know him. We got to know his family. We got to know Sharon.
That's probably true,
Yeah, as a stabilizing force. Even though, this is a man who, when he went back on drugs, almost killed her. He almost like choked her to death one time. He was not a good dude sometimes when he was on the chemicals. When he wasn't, he was adorable. And it was and I always found that the incredible weird thing of Ozzy is that he sang so clearly. He had such a clarion voice, and usually his vocals spot on. His diction You can understand what he was singing. But when he talked, like he made Sylvester Stallone sound like Rex Harrison. It's true. And he would say, no, it's not the drugs. I mean, we talk like this. This is where we all talk from. When I was in England, we all grew up talking like this. Apparently, it's true. Apparently, they do, or did. So, but at the same time, everybody says, "Oh, Ozzy, Crazy Train," and I have to say, this is cruel, but I'm hoping at some point soon another major rock star dies. Just so that you can go on a feed and not hear, "Mama, I'm coming home," every fucking 20 seconds. Say, "Mama, I'm coming." Okay, yes, we know. He's coming home. He's home. He's home with Jesus. Good. Goodbye. It's nice for a while. It reminds you it's a nice song, very repetitive song to hear. But it's like, okay, Oz is gone. "Mama, I'm coming." No! Shut up! Shut up! Yeah. Should tell you that Black Sabbath had like 10 albums and they're only playing 1 or 2 songs from any of them. War Pigs and Paranoid and that. Yeah. And his solo career, that was Mama I'm Coming, came from later on. So he was not, he was a great personality. He was certainly an artist and a unique sui generis kind of a guy, and important in the development of a kind of metal that I don't like. So I'm being more...
What was the kind of metal that...
Well, people say heavy metal started with Oz. It started with Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin, but...
I don't understand how one person could start a genre. I never understood that.
It probably doesn't happen that way, but there's one person who galvanizes everything.
Like they say, oh, they associate it with the person, right?
Yeah. I mean, the Beatles, right? Who changed everything, who truly were as magnetic. There's no superlative you could throw at the Beatles, and it would still be too little. It would still be inadequate to describe what the Beatles brought to music, right? But in terms of culture changing, well, Hendrix, in terms of guitar, in terms of sound, in terms of flamboyance, and putting it all together, starting, Nirvana wasn't alone in starting the grunge genre, which I don't particularly like, but there was Pearl Jam, there was Soundgarden, but when you think of the band that somehow made it...
Identifies, like a representative, like they're associated with that thing. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah.
They're so associated with...
Yeah. They become like Joni Mitchell, of a certain kind of singer-songwriter thing.
Or Dylan, right?
Well, Dylan, sweet. Dylan's not the first or only folk singer. That was going back to 1940. I just saw a picture this morning of Pete Seeger looking about 17 years old, playing with a couple of old black blues players. Pete was there first. So there was people before Pete, So it's true, there isn't one particular guy. But there are folks who sort of galvanize and become like the lightning point. They're like, if X number of bands grew up listening to Black Sabbath, and were therefore influenced. So a lot of things are traced back to Ozzy and Tommy Iommi and Black Sabbath. And again, it's funny, of course I'm coming on this show to knock someone who's dead. I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying compared to a Brian Wilson or a Sly Stone, we didn't lose another Brian Wilson or a Sly Stone. We lost Ozzy Osbourne.
But I wonder, like, in the memory of people,
yeah.
How far back? So do people remember those other people, or are those people too far out of the discourse that people don't remember them?
You would figure.
I don't know.
You would wonder about that, and yet.
I'm wondering, like what's the?
Because I just read about another act that you would figure was sort of 2 generations back, and yet they're selling out. And that's just Weird Al Yankovic, who sold out like Madison Square freaking Garden. Yeah. It was a novelty act on Dr. Demento, but a brilliant one. And
How did he do it?
And he's 40-something years in the game. He sells out MSG.
That's crazy to me.
Which is wonderful. He's a great guy. He's a great performer.
No, but it's crazy that that's a big arena.
And he hasn't been forgotten. And he's not even putting out albums anymore. There's no point in putting out albums. There's no more monoculture.
That's crazy.
You can't do a song that everybody knows, right?
That's crazy. You don't think that's crazy?
Crazy in a good way. But there was somebody else who has like this incredibly popular, strong selling tour where you go, really? Wow. Wasn't expecting that because that's so far back from 2025 when their heyday was. But, where was I going with that? Where was I going with? Well, just the whole Ozzy thing of him not having, I presume, some kind of radio hit, as if radio exists anymore, in 25 years. From like his third revival of like, oh my God, Ozzy Osbourne has a new song. I mean, that's how many years ago? It's just been from touring, from Ozfest, from things like that. And then you get Hulk Hogan, who stayed relevant because
I don't know, did he?
he was blasting the Democratic Party and going all in
I
on.
don't know if he did, David. He was on a lot of these wrestling things, and then they just went away, you know?
Yeah, they went away. He hasn't been really wrestling, obviously, for a very long time, but he's kept himself on the meter, at least of the Republicans, because he's very pro-Trump and very Republican. And also, what I remember about Hulk Hogan, more than anything else, speaking of MTV, and nobody's bringing this up, is he almost broke Richard Belzer's neck.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember? Belzer had a comedy talk show
Yeah.
on MTV. He invites Hogan on. Hogan shows him a sleeper hold move, and I guess he felt Belzer was making fun of him and brought him down in a way that he suffered almost a concussion. And he said, hey, it's Hulk Hogan. I said, oops. Belzer, I think, tried to sue him.
Really?
Yeah. Hogan, not a good guy. Not the best person in the world. And again, he was, of his time, a very major lightning strike celebrity wrestler. Like, after Andre the Giant, first person you think of is Hulk Hogan, if you say wrestling. We've kind of forgotten Rowdy Roddy Piper and King Kong Bundy and those people. But Hulk was Hulkamania. We know him. And he had everything. He had the looks, he had the physique, he had the charisma to be a major World Wrestling Federation star. But how big is that on the firmament of the Sly and Brian Wilson ratio? Again, it's sort of like those two, and then Hulk Hogan. We'll miss him, kind of. And he was certainly sui generis who he was, but farewell, goodbye. Anywho. And if there are people who want to defend Hulk Hogan and say he was a wonderful guy, please go ahead. But I don't particularly have the fondest memories of all the ways he's been in the news over the past few years. So, that happened. We also lost Michael Oakes, right? Phil Oakes' brother, who was a photographer and archivist of photographs. I will miss him more than, certainly more than Hogan, possibly more than Oz, because I'm not into that music. So, big farewell to him. And Malcolm Jamal Warner, who I didn't realize did a lot of theater. He, yes, he did the Cosby Show. He had another show. I never saw it. I think with Felicia Rashad again, she was in that program. But he went around doing a ton of theater, which is A-okay by me, and that's sad, and that's a bit of a loss. I don't know. Did you ever read what his thing? Did he come out against Bill?
He wrote a book. I don't know. I think he wrote the book when he was very young. So I think at the time he wrote the book, all these scandals were not so ever present.
Yeah, and I don't know if he ever weighed in on.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see because there are many child actors who were in that show. It wasn't just one kid.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely true. So I assume Cosby didn't try anything with any of them, and that they were blocked from seeing anything that.
No, but they're they might have just impressions of working with him, right? Like what that's like.
Oh well, one assumed until all these revelations came out that he was a blast, that he was professional, but that he goofed around, that he would be funny.
And he was like a surrogate father to them, and
Yeah. Which he probably was when he wasn't corralling guest star girls.
Many people can divide themselves and be one way and then another, and then you don't know.
Yeah. But anywho, it's been a week. It's 10 o'clock or a little after in the Daverhood on this Saturday morning, July 26, 2025. You're watching our 992nd episode of the show, which mixes humor and interviews and culture and Greeley, Colorado. Yes, my friends, Greeley, Colorado, because my wife and I lived there for several years, and while we were there, we were delighted because we got it free from the university there. The Greeley Tribune. Oh, that's the phone starting to ring already, telling us that Coplog, or what we call Greeley Times, is about to begin.
Greeley, Colorado. Oh my goodness, what a wonderful city. Oh yeah. Greeley is a wonderful city located in northern Colorado. 49 miles northeast of Denver. Oh yeah, it's such a great city.
Yeah, by the way, that is the guy who sings songs about cities and towns is, shall we say, responsible. Now, when he dies, that will be a loss to world culture, I'll tell you. Anywho, we have phone calls that come into the Greeley Weld County Police Department of people complaining about things that are going on. So, we had our call. They call back. They always call back.
Here.
Oh, wait, hold on. One moment, please. The chicken phone.
Here.
Oh, and we have oh no, this one's going to be an angry caller. I'm going to start with an angry caller.
This is a scared one. Here, take a scared.
Oh, this will work. Yeah.
Or do you want this one as a sad? Maybe you need a.
Well, now I can use all of these as yeah. So let me read them first. Yeah, actually, this angry face will work with this one, and maybe scary face too. We'll see.
Okay.
So, okay, what's the matter? A caller.
What's the matter? That's how the police answer.
Yeah,
What's the matter?
What's your
problem?
police? What's your fucking problem? A caller at an apartment on 8th Avenue said a man came to his apartment and was trying to get him to leave with him on a bus.
Oh, that's nice.
The complainant called back 30 minutes later to add that the man was throwing darts outside his apartment. I think I'll do Scary Man for that.
I mean, these Tinder dates are really taking a whole other.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe it had nothing to do. He was doing darts. Perhaps he was dart bored. I don't have any. Can you toss me a noisemaker? Oh, my bell. Is my bell up
What do you
here?
like, honey?
I have them.
Here, take this one. You like this?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And then I'll give you one.
Oh, I'll be right back, folks.
Hold on.
Momentarily back.
This is your.
Just going across the hall. Hear me clomping down the hall.
I'll give you a good noisemaker because you might hear. Take this one.
Yeah, this one will
Or
work.
no, this one.
All right. Ah!
And this one.
Oh, this is good.
Okay.
This is good.
Do
Okay.
you want your toy radio?
Nah, I don't think I'll use it. I have the keyboard, so I think we're good. Oh, thank you, dear.
Here.
Oh, and the Jewish space
Oh,
laser.
this is a different one.
Ooh.
That's one that's actually not on your finger. You don't have to hurt yourself.
This one is used by the IDF. Here we go. Check that out. Yeah, baby. Hey, Emmanuel Macron. All right. Let's get to our next phone call from someone in northern Colorado who is calling the Greeley Police Department about something that they want to complain about. Oh, okay, here we go. I'll get the chicken phone on this one. A caller reported a couch fell out of the back of another truck and hit his vehicle on 34 bypass by 65th Avenue.
That's pretty specific.
Yeah, well, yeah. Actually, I should say, when I take these and I get them from the Trib, they usually give the cross streets. And to save time, I take out either the street or the avenue, just so that it reads quicker. But
What happened? Do we know?
well, the owner of the couch was trying to leave before police showed up.
Of course.
Ooh, it's a couch!
Probably a hot couch.
Oh, well, it depends on the fabric.
If you're going to steal a couch, that's sad.
Well, I hope, certainly, if it involves a couch, the police don't take this lying down. Get it? Get it? Ha 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 ha! You know, we've only done 2 of these, but so far, so good.
Wonderful idea.
Thank you so much. Oh, it's quiet. Nobody's calling the police department. They can have a little donut or something. They can take a little coffee. But, it begins. It begins. Let's try this one. A caller, hello, at a hotel on 10th Street reported hearing something that sounded like a firecracker coming from another room in the hotel. The caller noted, the call taker at the police station noted that the caller was making nonsensical statements, and the officer who did respond did not notice anything out of the ordinary.
That's good.
Yeah. So, are firecrackers dangerous? And all? Yeah, I think I answered my own question. Yes, of course they are.
They are, but like it's not like you have to have them there if they're dangerous. If there are no firecrackers, it's not dangerous.
Yeah. And if you're making nonsensical statements about everything else, I think that person's doing meth crackers, basically. Would be the real excuse here.
What?
This one is kind of sad and depressing. Here we go. A caller reported a black and white bunny had been set loose at the roundabout at 83rd Avenue. Every time the caller tried to catch it, it ran into a pipe.
It had some issues.
Yeah, it's as smart as our groundhog. What did police say?
Call ASPCA.
Well, yeah, police informed the caller they do not chase bunnies.
I would think, well, no, that's good. I mean, you can't, you have to have some boundaries of what you do.
I guess, but the way they put it is like, we don't chase bunnies.
We don't chase bunnies, lady.
Go chase yourself. Go call
Chase your
someone
own
else.
bunny. Chase
Aw.
your own darn bunny.
That's sad. I hope they got it, or the bunny stayed in the pipe and lived happily ever after,
I'm sure he did.
Well, that was a hair-raising tale.
Whatever you say.
Oops, I dropped
You
something.
just dropped your scared one.
No! I
It's
don't even...
actually appropriate that the scared one is the one that dropped.
Yeah, but... Oh, here he is.
Well,
Here he
he's
is. He's on the gray carpet. I couldn't see him. Okay. A caller on 4th Street. Oh, no! Another sad one! Oh. Yeah, what's the matter on 4th Street? What's going on? She said she lost her dog earlier in the day.
Oh,
She then received a text from someone, yay, saying that they found her dog
that's wonderful.
and to meet her at the 7-Eleven.
Well, that sounds sketchy.
Yeah. Once she got there, they sent her a picture of her dog
Good.
and told her to send $500 for keeping the dog safe.
Oh my God, they ransomed her dog. Wow.
Wow. That's like... That becomes a real federal crime kind of offense, don't you think?
I don't know, it's a dog.
I mean, it wasn't napped. Let's say it wasn't napped.
Well, we don't know, maybe they did.
Yeah. It might have napped. Might have had a actually good sleep. But
Nice, dear.
I think I'll do this one. We have another call. A caller on 14th Avenue. Gun phone. Caller on 14th Avenue said she had a person.
Yeah.
I think this goes to this one right here.
Uh-oh.
This is Mr. Scared. Where's Scared Face? I had him. Oh, he's here.
He fell. He left.
Yeah.
Scared face left the building.
This caller said she had a person caught in her basement,
Oh, jeez.
and she was wondering if she could keep the person down there for the rest of the person's life.
Where is it? Where is it?
Oh, I have the white one. Maybe you need this
Oh,
one.
yeah, I need the... And then... At least the good part is she's telling police so they can go fetch that person.
Yeah.
The bad part is she's trapped a person in her basement.
Yes. And is thinking about
Well,
never letting that
but
person
that's
out.
good. You have to consider all angles. Like, do you want to keep them,
Yeah.
or like, can you leave? Can you put them back? I mean,
You don't necessarily have to feed them, but they could get noisy. Another call. Where's this call from? Caller?
yeah.
Oh, this one's cute.
What?
A caller on 10th Avenue or Street? This is important. No, it's a caller, it's a caller on 10th Street. Reported a pet turtle trying to cross the road.
How do they know it's a pet turtle?
That's a great question. Well, maybe it was theirs, but it
Oh,
doesn't
maybe
say
their
that.
own pet.
Yeah. But later that,
Yeah.
or a day or two later, a caller at 4th Street reported a very large turtle crossing the street. So it went from 10th.
It's making its way. I mean, it's a turtle.
It's getting downtown. The caller moved it out of the road,
Oh, nice.
but was concerned because it looked like someone's pet.
How do you know that?
How can you tell? It's like, do people leash turtles?
We should turtle, no.
Would you put a bell on it?
No, I guess you just...
That'd be great if the turtle's moving down the road.
Maybe
Ding.
because it's small. Like, if it's small enough, they think it's a pet.
Oh, maybe. Well, no, actually, this one says a very large turtle, so they probably think it's a tortoise from someone's garden.
It's very weird. I think it's weird.
Yes, delightfully weird, as things are.
Turtle focus, you know?
And then, well, at least he's coming out of his shell. Knock, 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 knock. Yeah. Okay, let's get to an elsewhere. An elsewhere is not from Greeley, Colorado, but it is a story, and we have two elsewheres this week, both far away from Greeley. This comes from Thailand.
Ooh.
Two stories. We're going to tie one on. This first one comes from Rayong and was reported in United Press International. A Thai man spent a month living only on...
What?
Take a guess.
Love.
No.
Cheese?
Ooh, no.
Salt water.
Oh, God, no. Good guesses, though, by the way.
Acid? I don't know.
Oh, God, well he spent a month living on beer. Nothing
Is
but
that nutritious?
beer. Well, anyway, he spent a month having nothing but beer, and he died.
Oh,
Rescue workers were called to a house in the Bangchang district of Rayong to help a man who reportedly
Isn't that the
suffered.
woman who danced in the Olympics, Rayon?
Oh my God! What? It was something like that. Not Raytheon.
Maybe she was Ray Gun, right?
Reagan. That was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is Rayong. The man reportedly suffered a seizure and then became unconscious. By the time they arrived on the scene, 44-year-old Thawisak Namwangsa had already passed. According to Thaw's teenage son, the man spent a month living just on beer.
Wow.
One day, the kid came home from school and found his father having a seizure in bed. There's a child who's going to need some therapy, don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, that's not good.
Rescue workers who arrived on the scene took photos, and they have pictures of this,
That's
of
not good either.
more than 100 empty beer bottles neatly arranged on the bedroom floor
Wow.
with only a narrow path between them, which allowed the man to get in and out of bed.
Oh.
I mean, if this were America, it was some guy in the South or the Midwest, it'd just be spilled over, tipped over beer bottles, there'd be shattered glass, there'd be bottles of piss. No, it's amazing. It's like everything very, very neatly aligned. It almost looks like a collection.
I love it.
But the son said that he cooked hot meals for his dad daily,
Good.
but Papa refused to eat, probably because he hadn't gotten over his recent divorce. So
Oh, she was depressed.
depressed, yes. While rich in calories, beer lacks essential nutrients. So experts...
I've seen that from this man.
Well, yeah. Well, here's the weird part. Experts say that beer should be consumed in moderation, even though some people have been known to go on a beer-only diet weeks before Lent.
Oh, maybe it's a religious thing.
Yeah, but I mean, people have spent a month living just on beer.
How long did he do it?
He was a month. But I can't, it's sort of the beer equivalent of Supersize Me.
Yeah.
But here's what I don't get. If a month is 30 days, thank you, yes, I know. And he had 100 beer bottles by his bed, which means that he drank 3 bottles per day and a sip. Maybe he drank more beer. He would have been inebriated.
Or maybe that's not the truth.
What do you mean?
Maybe he was doing other stuff too.
Oh, I don't know. I just wonder, maybe it's just you need to get more beer. Because you're not going to stay drunk on 3 bottles of beer a day. We're not talking about giant keggers. They were like Tsingtao or whatever a Thai beer is. Sapporo, no, that's Japanese. One people drink 3 beer bottles in a clip and don't really get hammered.
That's true.
Well, anyway, so that's our first oddity, our first elsewhere from on our Greeley Time segment. Here's another, also from Thailand, as reported by OddityCentral.com. This is from Chonburi, Thailand. To test zookeepers, I'm going to share my screen on this one. This is one of the greatest things ever. To test zookeepers' responses in the case of an animal escape.
Oh, I saw this.
You saw this?
With the
Yes.
Ling Hao.
A zoo in Thailand used a mascot version of its most famous resident, Mudeng,
Yes.
who's the beloved pygmy hippo just celebrating his first birthday. You know, after Mudeng turned like 6 months old, you didn't really see him much anymore because he was turning into a disgusting, gross, fucking fat hippo.
Was he?
But for the first 6 months, he was adorable. Now he's a hippopotamus. Who cares? But Mudeng, you all saw him a year ago. It was the most cute thing ever. Well, this zoo where Mudeng lives has a mascot version of him that they used for a drill at the Kau Open Zoo, which featured a staff member in a Mudeng mascot costume staging an escape from an enclosure and going on a rampage, I should put that one in quotes too, through the zoo's publicly accessible areas. The zoo said on social media, the control team closed off the area and brought the hippo back safely.
That's great.
Yeah, there's a man in a hippo costume. They brought him back safely. The rehearsal included the hippo attacking one staff member, resulting in minor injuries. The zoo's first aid unit immediately provided assistance and sent the patron to the hospital.
Big hospital, right?
Yeah. The drill also had veterinarians simulate tranquilizing faux Mudeng and giving him an exam before returning to his pen. The real Mudeng, who celebrated her first birthday earlier this month, was safely in her enclosure during the drill. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have video. This is, I'm going to share my screen.
That's really cute. That'll be cute.
Yeah, okay, so this guy can go away. There's the fella. Where is it? One of the greatest things ever. Okay, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The greatest. What was the music from the greatest gang? This is real. This is a drill. This is the injury. This is a mascot ambling down the road. Now they've sped up the video. Now they're going to try and subdue it. I mean, the past, people that are watching this, they're hysterical. This is how they got the Mansons. Oh yeah, run away. Yeah, terrifying. This is the part where they try and get him to eat like a branch of something. Oh, this is where he gets injured. Yeah, because you would do this with a tiger. Oh, here's the injury. Oh, she got a scrape. Oh, they're putting disinfectant on it. I mean, the disinfectant looked like blood. That was good.
That's how we disinfect.
I feel so much safer at this zoo. No.
You know, David, let's be real. They have to have something now. Like you said.
Oh shit! They're gonna shoot it with a tranquil. I don't see this part.
Wu-Tang isn't a big. Wu-Tang isn't a big. They have to have something.
Yeah, they just shot it with a paintball gun. And now it's... The mascot guy's genius. He's like, stretches out his legs, slowly, like, not actually dies. There it is. We have to go to this zoo. We have to go to this zoo. I'm poking it. This is the greatest thing ever. He just put his elbow in his eye. He's not even looking what he's doing. They just bumped him into the back of the ambulance.
The chipmunks get in.
That was real. That, I mean, that was a real fake thing. That was the training of, I don't know, if the most adorable little bunny got on the loose and couldn't run very fast. And if a bunny that could only go about 3 miles an hour walking got loose and was so cute and loved everybody and they had to corral it somehow, I think they're all set at that.
Well, at least they're prepared. I'm glad. I was worried.
That is truly one of the greatest things ever, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, that 2 stories from Thailand on Dave's Gone By in our Greeley Times segment. Let's do 1 or 2 more phone calls that came in to actual Greeley, Colorado, to the police department there for Greeley Times before we bring in Sara Farrington and Rabbi Sol, before we get to Bunion Watch, before we get to our Colorado Limerick of the Damned and Dave's Big Dick Shinnery. So let's see. We have a call. Frog phone. Hello, Ribbit. Can you speak English? Sorry, Ribbit. Caller on East 16th Street saw a naked man in the back of a black Ford Escort with front end damage. Not sure if it's the man who had the front end damage or the Escort. There we go. The caller told the man to leave, but he just moved to another parking lot.
What's he doing?
I don't know. First of all, okay, they never put in enough information in these things. So he's in the back of a car. And she can tell he's naked. I'm not sure how.
She just has good vision, probably.
I mean, I don't know if the trunk was open, like it was a, what do we have? What kind of car is that with the 5th door?
Hatchback?
A hatchback. I don't know if it's a hatchback. He had the thing open, and he's just kind of out there, hello, meet Mr. Wiggly. But then, that means he would have had to he was in the back.
He was probably injured. The way she's talking, it seems like he was injured.
Oh, why?
I don't know. Because there was damage. You said there was damage to the car.
To the car. You
Like
think
it's an accident where he took off his clothes. Maybe that's what you're supposed to do. We don't have, maybe different insurers give you different strategies. Maybe the insurance company said, get in the back of the car and take off your clothes.
So he did. She told him to leave. That means he had to get out of the back seat, go to the front, drive, and then he drove to another parking lot. And she must have followed him, because how else? I guess she saw him from her car.
Because she's freaky.
Yeah. I'm wondering who's following whom and who's.
I agree. There's a lot more going on there.
No, I'm watching him. My binoculars just aren't. I can tell you one thing. He might be Jewish. Let's see. A caller. One last one at the hospital on 29th Street. Saw a man on the property throwing things at cars. Because I don't know what to say about that. What would you throw at cars?
Feces?
Especially at a hospital. Maybe. That wasn't funny enough. Let me do another One more. Here we go. A caller at a restaurant. I'll do the axolotl phone. A caller at a restaurant on 9th Street Road. There's a 9th Street Road. Said a woman came in after the restaurant closed and started yelling at workers. She said, she was yelling at workers.
Yeah.
Okay, so angry.
Is that the boss? What's she yelling?
No. The woman said, I guess I need, this will work. The woman said she knew that her son was in the freezer because she had planted a listening device.
Good. So she should go get him. What kind of parent is she?
Well, yeah, at least she's not cold-hearted. It's a freezer joke.
Why didn't I think of that?
And that, my friends, for this Saturday, July, 26th, 2025, is our beloved segment that we like to call Greeley Times.
Mr. Horace Greeley was no fool.
No, he wasn't.
I'm sure that you'll agree with me that Greeley was no fool.
What he is getting at is that Mr. Greeley was no fool.
Yippee-yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi-yi-yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we've done a lot of fun things so far on the Dave's Gone By Facebook, podcast, programming of the stream. We've got more. As I said, we've got our Limerick, we've got our Dave's Big Dictionary coming up, and just in a couple of moments, we'll have Sara Farrington and Rabbi Sol Solomon. But it does occur to me that it's been a while since I've done Bunion Watch. I don't have the Bunion music. That was on my old computer. I forgot to transfer it. But Bunion Watch, my friends, especially since I bought two pair of Skechers this week, because it's hard to find shoes that properly fit my feet, because I'm a 5'2" Jewish little nothing, but I've got wide and flat and bunionated feet to the point of, it's annoying. I had to wear special shoes when I was a kid, and really I spent most of my life either wearing sneakers, because once I found Velcro sneakers, I never went back, or people used to make fun of me at work and things because I was the barefoot critic. I was as soon as I got into work and was at my desk, my shoes went off. Because
Critical of bare feet, you just didn't wear shoes.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I had socks on. I wasn't really barefoot. I had socks on. I take my shoes off at the theater. I still do. I want to be comfortable. I'm going to be worried about my feet being all cramped up and sweaty and horrible. They are anyway, but I need to feel that for the night. 2 hours I'm watching a show. But I do have bunions, and sometimes I'm reminded of that fact when I'm buying shoes, or about 3 years ago now, when I first started teaching in Maryland, and my first week teaching, where I was on my feet, I was like teaching 2 or 3 classes in a row, and after my first day, I was wearing sneakers that I thought I had broken in, but obviously they broke me, because it just started rubbing and rubbing all day. Not on my bunion, but on the toe, of the bunion. It was on the top of the toe. And, oh, God, that took 2 weeks. It was so sore. And I had, Band-Aids and everything on it. But it reminded me of the magnificence of my bunionated feet. So, every once in a while, I like to share with you the size, the shape, the smell, the texture of my bunions.
Feel the shape of cotton.
And the thing is, one thing I also realized more recently was that my bunions look bigger in white socks. On my feet, they're impressive. Mm-hmm. In socks, they're monumental. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me bring the table down. There it goes. And I'm going to show you. Oh, these are not white. I thought I was wearing white socks today. I wore them yesterday.
You look gorgeous. That's a gorgeous outfit.
These are beautiful socks, but take a look.
Outfit.
Oh, thank you. So here we go. This is my knee. Here we go. Behold my bunion in bluish socks. Funny they don't look bluish. Bluish socks. This is my right foot bunion. Behold. I'm gonna actually pop this down so it's a little easiir to. See, so sorry you can barely even see it.
I love
I
those
turn it.
socks. Those are pretty.
Oh, they are pretty, but they don't really show a bunion. Or you know what really shows it?
What?
When I put the bunion down on a flat surface and I angle it down.
Just a certain way.
Look at that. Look at that thing. Holy crap, it's like a left turn signal. Oh my God.
That's funny.
Look at that. Wow. So that is my right foot bunion. And then, ladies and gentlemen, not to be outdone. Well, it is outdone because my left foot is not even in the same ballpark. This is my toe. This here's my left foot bunion. Nah, nothing by comparison, even when I'm on the laying it down. But that right foot bunion, baby. Oh my goodness, I'm so proud of it. So, ladies and gentlemen, that for this Saturday, July 26th, 2025, is Bunion Watch. If you want to send me pictures of your own bunions, please don't. But if you must, remember that my email address is davesgoneby@aol.com. Davesgoneby. Could you imagine if I was actually famous? If this was like The Late Show or Conan O'Brien, and I asked people to send me pictures of their bunions, and it's hundreds of people.
Yeah, but you'd have to pay for that. They do that on like the fans only and those sites.
Yeah.
But you need to pay for it. It's not free.
Oh.
Like people do give pictures of bunions to people, but it's usually like people pay for that.
Well, hey, it's only reasonable because if someone sends you a picture of their bunion, you should have to foot the bill. Okay, it's a foot joke. Yeah. Do I have a leg to stand on? No, I guess I have. With that, ladies and gentlemen, and the reminder that my email address is davesgoneby@aol.com, or you can reach me by messaging me on Facebook, right on this page, or just posting under the show when it's posted on Facebook. But we now move to the key moment, the key scene segment of this episode of the show, where, let me share my screen here. We have a guest in the Daverhood, a playwright. We've had a lot of playwrights on the show because I'm a playwright too, and theater is very important to me. And here's someone who's written a bunch of plays, including an adaptation of one of the great Euripidean tragedies, The Trojan Women. She's kind of boiled that down to a Trojan woman, which, I always feel lucky when I meet a woman with a Trojan, but that's very, very different. Anywho, her name is Sara Farrington, and they're doing A Trojan Woman at... My wife is now looking at me after that joke. A Trojan Woman at the Powerhouse Theater in Poughkeepsie, New York. It's a Vassar thing. So, let me share my screen. Okay, get that up. Wait, just going to see that mascot one more time a little bit. There he is. Oh, bring him down. Oh, you're so brave. You're so brave. Okay, enough of that. Now let's bring in the main event of this episode of the show. Interviewed by the one, the only, the Jewish Rabbi Sol Solomon, here is playwright and actress Sara Farrington. Oh, shalom, my friends. Shalom, my enemies. This is your old pal, Rabbi Sol Solomon. I am the founder and spiritual leader of Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. And I am sitting here talking with, via Zoom, to someone who looks like a goy, looks like a shiksa, quite honestly, and even has a shiksa-esque name, Sara Farrington. Not only that, if you go to her website to read about her plays and what she's done, it's ladyfarrington.com. My God, it's like I feel like I want to put on a petticoat or something, or a top hat. But no, she has Yiddish background. She really does. Not only that, more importantly, she's written many plays including A Trojan Woman, which is based on Euripides' diseases, Trojan Women, which is a real hoot of a comedy but play if you don't know it. But, and this play of hers has toured a lot, and now it's going to be done at the Powerhouse Theater in Vassar, New York. That's happening this weekend, so you have until just Sunday to see it. Please do. Plus, she's got another play that's going to be worked on in October, and she's doing these other things. She's got one being published. Ladies and gentlemen, I should mention even beforehand that the reviews of A Trojan Woman in its previous incarnations the quotes have included harrowing, taught, and you have to be carefully taught, words on paper cannot begin to describe the effect this play will have on those who see it. I've been told that about my breath. But ladies and gentlemen, won't you kindly welcome to the Daverhood, Sara Farrington. Shalom, Sara.
Hello, my grandmother would be so happy that I'm sitting here talking to you.
Yes, she would. I knew her. She would know. No. So your grandmother came from where?
Poland, from Poland, and she was the first one born here, but her two older sisters were born in Poland, and they, classic oppressed. It was around 1918, I think, when they came, and then her father came here first, and he landed in the Bronx and became a butcher.
Oh, there you go. This is good.
His name was Moshe Reese.
Double I, like Jacob Reese, or?
It was RIJS, believe it or not.
Oh, that's almost Dutchy sort of thing, yeah. What about the other side of your family?
It couldn't be more different.
Oh.
My dad is a French Canadian, like European, and then his family is actually very like Grapes of Wrath, Dust Bowl-y, and he grew up in California, Central Valley, very John Steinbeck, which my dad very much identifies with. So I couldn't be more like a mutt. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I identify very much with my Jewishness.
Yes, but wait, you describe yourself as, quote, an atheist Jew. So how do you, I think I know what that means, but how do you define that?
I think for me, I was never bat mitzvah. I spent a lot of time in temple, a lot. But I found theater, and it became, I have often said theater is like a religious practice to me. The ritual of it, the beauty of it, the magic of it. There is a magic that I align with a very much a religious experience, and that fills that for me. And I know it's hard for people to understand, but it is an art form that is very similar to Judaism, I think, in the rules and the rigor and the beauty. So that's filled it for me. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, no, you're basically with a bunch of people in a room together that you really don't want to talk to, but you want to experience something. That's Judaism. That's it right there. So,
I agree.
So let me ask you also.
They all have problems and concerns, and they're all very neurotic.
Yes. Well, you don't seem neurotic, are you?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not. I've evolved out of it. I used to be much more angsty and I was more of that classic stereotype of a theater artist. But now I feel I'm of the Virginia Woolf mindset that, like, in order to produce really beautiful art, you need a room of your own. You need a room, you need food, you need money, you need calm. And so that's what I strive for as an artist now.
Well, it doesn't look like you live in New York City from what I'm seeing there. Where are you that brings you this calm thing?
I'm literally 30 minutes outside Penn Station in a town called Maplewood, New Jersey.
Oh, Jersey. I understand. Because you're married, you mentioned off the camera thing, to a guy who does the tech for one of the biggest museums in New York. Is this true?
Yes.
So is he an artistic kind, or is it more like pulling wires and cables and plugging this into that?
Well, he's got a double life like me. He's a theater director, and that's how we met in the theater. And
I thought the name Reed Farrington sounded familiar beyond, plugging a socket into a thing. So he's done theater tech, or he's also more even on the creative side there?
He's a creative director. He's a director. He directs my work, and I write for him. So we have a theater company together. But his
all right, stop right there, please. This I do not understand. You named your theater, live stage, theater, people walking around, acting, putting on clothes. Right. Foxy Films.
Yes, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah, please.
When my husband was my boyfriend, he lived in a loft in Brooklyn on the corner of Tillery and Flatbush. And it was like 1,000 square foot performance loft that we used for shows and for rehearsing. It was just amazing. Back when you could kind of afford that kind of thing, early 2000s. But on the buzzer for 104, which was our loft, it said Foxy Films. It just was like who was there before.
Oh.
It was just left there. So we thought that was so weird and mysterious. Like, what is that? That we just started taking that name. And now people are like, oh, is it a film company? We just call it Foxy Films. I know it's totally misleading.
It's totally misleading. Also, I hope when you moved in, you ditched all the furniture that was there, because there would have been stains If I'm thinking Foxy Films, things that go on in there, yeah.
That's how I always positioned it. I was like, well, it was probably like some pornographic movie warehouse. We saged it out. It's probably okay. But we don't live there anymore. We lived there for a very, very long time. When we started having babies, we moved to the suburbs.
So, very important question now. Are you raising the children atheist Jewish?
We do Passover, and we do Hanukkah, and we do it all. And you know what? I love that side of being Jewish. Like, I love Passover. I love the 4 questions. In fact, the Passover question, why is this night different than all other nights, is the theater question. There's no play in the canon where that question couldn't be answered. Every play, Hamlet, why is this day different than other days? Well, Hamlet's dad was just murdered by his brother.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of like Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? Like every play has the Passover question in it. And so for me to have Passover feels really like a theater event, you know? So I do that with my kids.
And the ritual of all, as you said, the ritual of Judaism has that whole sort of thing of like, there's like, even Passover has 2 acts. Like, yes. you read, you eat, you read, you read, you sing songs. That's what it is. And then it's a making intermission. The eating is the intermission thing. But you seem so lively and fun, albeit neurotic in the background. But how do you then chance upon doing a play or adapting a play like The Trojan Women by Euripides, which is basically just women bitching, if you don't like the word there, like, oh, my child is abducted, I'm dead, they're gonna die, everything's dead, everything's burned down, my husband gone for 90 minutes. Why would you gravitate to that?
I never understood exactly what you said, that the play is nothing happens in it. And literally the play, I could say in one sentence, it's 2 gods, Athena and Poseidon. They open the play. They talk about how little or much they care about humans. And then the rest of it is just the victims of war begging them to care, basically. What have you done? What did we do? Why do we deserve this? You know, now that I'm saying it out loud, it does feel, maybe I was attracted to it because of being raised Jewish in a way. Like it has that lamenting feel. So anyway, I was attracted to it because I didn't understand, like there's no Greek play in the canon like that. Usually in the Greek plays, like something big happens, or something happens either right off stage or sometimes on stage. Like I'm thinking of Oedipus or Electra or Antigone, like something happens. In this particular Greek play, it felt like 3 hours of lamentations. And I was like, I hate this, so I need to figure out what this is. I very much am like that. If I don't understand it, I get curious and I want to understand it. And so I marinated in the Trojan Women. And what I learned from, I read every translation. I don't read ancient Greek, but I read every translated version. I watched movies and play versions of it. I spent about a year in it. And I realized that the structure of the Trojan Women and why it's so revolutionary is because nothing happens. And it's because Euripides was taking a mirror up to the Athenian government, who, by the way, had just invaded an island called Melos. It was the Peloponnesian War. And at Melos, the Athenians went in, peaceful island. They killed all 600 men and they enslaved the women and children. And this had just happened like a week before or something. So Euripides was like, guys, look at this, holding up a mirror. Look what you've done. Look what you've done. The Trojan War, he positioned as a sort of parable to what they had just done. And for me, it gives me chills that nobody had ever done that to the Athenian government before. And so for me, I feel that was like the first protest play. And the first time a playwright or an artist had said, you assholes, look at this. And now we have a long, in the history of theater, there's a long history of artists doing that now. They could be doing it more now, but whatever. But yeah, so that's why I was attracted to it and why it suddenly clicked in for me,
Now, you're have been an actress. Have you directed? Because it seems that you chose to adapt it rather than do one of the translations or one of the, why is your translation, here's that question. Why is your translation or your adaptation different from all the other translations and adaptations of the Trojan Women?
I'll tell you, I think the one difference is that in every translation I sort of was living with, there's this museum-y tone. Like there's a tone where it's like, the Ionian Sea of the blah, 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 blah. And no one in a modern audience really can you kind of have to get through that Greek referential stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I don't understand it. So I sort of set this rule for myself where I was like, I want to update this and I want to make it accessible because it is so important and it is a protest play that I wanted to take all that out. So I really made it contemporary sounding. It really sounds like the way I talk. It has a sort of modern, relaxed, oddly relaxed, casual sound, which is how the gut punch comes in and in the message, you know?
But is it still set in 415 BC, or is it sort of an amorphous, timeless kind of thing?
Oh, I said it. I actually wrote it. I wrote it. Well, I originally wrote it, the version we're doing now in 2023. So about like a year and a half, 2 years ago. And at that point, the Ukrainian-Russian conflict was like, I mean, it's still going on, but at that point it was like a little younger. And there was a photo that the New York Times put out of a mother. You probably saw it. It was one of the first photos that came out of Ukraine, and it's a mother and her kids dead, and they're at the mouth of a bridge. And the reason why that happened, a New York Times photographer, Lindsay Daddario, took a photo of that. The reason why that photo was so impactful was because they were told that they were safe, that that was a pedestrian crossing, she had them in like a stroller. No. Did she have them in my play has them in a stroller. I think she was just running. She had a 9-year-old and I think a 17 or 18-year-old.
Oh.
And they were told they could go that way and get to Kyiv because they were in the suburbs, and they were killed. They were, I can't remember, I think it was an explosion that killed them. And they had been seen by the Russians. It was almost arbitrary collateral damage, you know? So I saw that photo and I found it, she was my age. At the time, she was probably 42. I'm 44 now. But I found that to be Greek. That is Greek. That is Greek war, you know? And in A Trojan Woman, my adaptation, I open with a woman crossing a bridge with her kid. And the explosion happens. And in the moment of realization that her kid has been killed, that's where A Trojan Woman, it exists in that compressed moment. Yeah.
Sounds like fun. No, but
Riot.
yeah. Now, let me ask how... So you read all these translations and in adapting this piece, how much did you kind of have to go back, or did you just sort of use it as a starting point? And the language is different, and the everything's almost different. It's just women who are saying, "What the hell are you guys doing?"
It's oddly for every translation uses slight variations in language from the original ancient Greek, but oddly, it's very formulaic in that the gods enter. Then Hecuba, then she's the queen, then Cassandra, then Andromache, then Andromache's child is taken away and killed. The messenger makes that happen. And then at the end, Helen of Troy comes out, and that's the end of the play. It's almost like an introduction. The Greeks did originally, I'm a Greek theater fanatic, and I'm a Hellenophile, I've been told. But originally...
You're a hell of a Hellenophile, yes.
Yeah. Thespis, the original actor, he used to do this thing where before Thespis, there was a world where all the Greek the chorus more or less, would come out and they would kind of introduce someone and then that person would go back into the chorus. Thespis did that. He'd come out and say, what was revolutionary about Thespis is he would say, I am Dionysus, or he would say, I am Hecuba. It was the first time anybody had really taken on a persona, which we do now as an actor. So in The Trojan Women, that tradition is still there. The characters come out, they introduce themselves, they talk about how horrible they've been treated, and then they almost retreat back into the chorus. And that was in every version. And the revolutionarily, if that's a word, the chorus that Euripides built, and I think this is the only time this has been done in Greek drama, the chorus are the victims of war. So the chorus, they aren't just messengers of information and they aren't just singers. They're actually women who have been vanquished in war. And so that was new too. There's a chorus that has a stake in the story. And that was in every translation. So I basically took the structure of every translation, more or less I don't want to call them plot points because there really isn't a plot. But the things that happen in each speech.
The clothesline on which everything is built is the same. Yeah.
Or the string and the pearls were my own. So I kind of built and again, I don't speak any Greek, so I really had to pull from my own processing machine. I had to put these translations through my own processor to make them come from my voice. So
now, can I ask you, what were your previous involvement with other Greek plays? Did you study them in college? Have you acted in some? I mean, you say you're this Greekophile.
I'm not a scholar and I'm not an expert. I was an actor and I trained in conservatory training. So I acted in a lot of Greek plays. And also I majored in theater. I have my master's degree in playwriting. So you have to kind of, you can't avoid it. You have to know the Greeks,
Where did you get, I don't think they still gave master's degrees in playwriting. Where did you get yours?
I got mine at one of the best, at Brooklyn College, out in Brooklyn, yeah.
Brooklyn, are they still doing that?
Well, it was led by Mac Wellman, he's retired now, but he was a very famous avant-garde playwright. And I desperately loved him and I wanted to train with him. I was waitlisted, which made me crazy. And then I was accepted into his program. So I trained with him. By the time you get to your MFA program, you should know the Greeks already, That's
really? Yeah. But can I ask you, because Mac Wellman is a well-known kind of avant-garde-ish player, what was so great about him? What did you learn from him? What was his mentorship to you?
I think the biggest difference between Mac and every other playwright is that what he does is take what you write, and rather than trying to fix it, he tries to see what you're doing. He says, what are you doing here? What weird shit are you doing here? What does your voice sound like? Let's push that forward rather than going, in the third act, you always must have a gun that goes off in the fourth, that kind of thing. So Mac was so what subsequently happens is you get unusual, innovative plays that aren't following any rules, That's what I love.
Which can be good, but then when you have that, what is the arbiter then? Is it just the audience? Is it, if anything goes, who decides if what's going is working?
That is a really good question.
Thank you.
There are so many different avenues to answering that. Some playwrights would say, who the fuck cares? I don't care what the audience thinks. I do this for myself. Some playwrights would be like, well, to me, okay, so my philosophy is that even if I'm going to be avant-garde or innovative, I do want to be entertaining because I think the biggest sin is boring.
Yes. Yeah, all my parishioners tell me that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing. So I think that twisting story and narrative and flipping rules on their head is important. However, you do have to know the rules. Like, if you're going to be Picasso, you have to know how to paint a normal painting too, Yeah,
well, yeah, or you give Harambe the gorilla a paintbrush, and it looks like de Kooning,
Or a 4-year-old kid.
True. So sometimes yes, sometimes no. But yes, or the host of this program, Dave, has come from that background of like, yes, of course you can break the rules once you know what the rules are.
Yes, I'm a big believer in that. I think you really do need to know how story functions, how conflict functions, how a character in a story has to want something, like basics like that, before you can fuck with it. You know what I mean?
Do you teach?
Do I teach?
Yeah, or have you taught?
I used to teach, but it didn't pay me enough money.
Gee, go figure. Wait. You can't tell me that doing with all the theater for 3 nights at Vassar pays you the bit. So where's your bucks coming from? Your husband has a great job, but where's your bucks coming from?
My other philosophy is I feel that the theater practice, to me, now a lot of people disagree with me, I don't think it should fall in the world of where you need it to survive. If I needed playwriting to survive, I would be dead. There's no world where I could get paid to write plays. Really. Maybe Lin-Manuel Miranda can do it. Tracy Letts can do it. There are playwrights that can do it. I can't do it, nor do I want to. And I don't want to rely on my artistry to be able to pay the bills. So I have had a job. I have a job. I've been an executive assistant for 22 years, basically. So that's what I do. And I do it for different, I keep church and state, so to speak, very separate. Church being theater, state being the bills. But right now I have an executive assistant job I've had for 11 years. Before that, I had an EA job at a publishing company. Before that, I was hostessing. So I've always had a day job. I feel that is profoundly important to know what you believe in that realm. Because I think I get a lot of judgment for that. Like sometimes people are like, oh, you're 44 and you have a day job. That's kind of sad. And I'm like, no, it isn't.
No.
Yeah.
It's lucky. It's very
great.
good. But that also brings up the question. You're 44, you have a day job, or even when you're in your early 40s or late 30s, and you have children, right?
Yeah.
And a husband and things and a house to... Where do you find the time and energy to sit and write plays?
I work from home.
It's always the executive assistant. Well, even before COVID? Or
No,
just since...
well, before COVID, I was sort of hybrid, and I used to have to go in, but now I'm 100% at home. And actually, I shouldn't reveal my secrets, but that has made all the difference. Being free with where I am and when I'm doing my work is, I mean, it's actually helped my career enormously since COVID. I'm actually weirdly grateful for COVID in that way, because it transformed my day job, you know.
But so here's the deal. You're sitting talking to us in the middle of the afternoon, you're home, doesn't look like you're doing any work.
Well,
I want to work for your company.
I'll tell you off the air, but I do work for a big corporation, but I won't tell you which one.
No, okay, that's it's a good thing it's not the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, or then you'd be screwed. But anywho.
A lot of time. I'd have a lot of time to be writing if I did.
By the way, we're talking, of course, with Sara Farrington here in the Daverhood, reminding you that her play, A Trojan Woman, is going to be at the Powerhouse, or is at the Powerhouse Theater as we speak, this weekend. You can find out more at her website, ladyfarrington.com. So, other questions for you, so please.
Lady Farrington was given to me by Mac Wellman. He started calling me Lady Farrington, so.
Oh, was it because, where did he come up with it?
I'm not a lady. I'm not in the traditional sense, but for some reason it's the last, I took my husband's last name. I love the Edith Wharton sound of it.
Yeah, it does have that, yes, yeah.
Well, he heard that.
Her characters don't end well, though, so you probably want to be a little... Yeah.
Not at all. She's my favorite, yes.
She's great, right? Let me ask you, you've had workshop plays, worked on plays at the Eugene O'Neill Center, right? Do you have any memories of that, of just being there in Waterford?
Yes, I have all the memory. Well, I was there. I was a student at the O'Neill Center, the National Theater Institute, the Eugene O'Neill Center in Waterford, Connecticut, which is around the corner from Eugene O'Neill's childhood home, where a lot of his trauma happened. But I was there, and then a few days went by, and then September 11th happened. And so a lot of the kids went home, but a lot of the kids stayed. And then a few days after that, we went to London to study with the Royal Shakespeare Company as actor. I was there as an actor. And so I remember it because it was such an emotionally heightened time. I had no idea what was going on. Suddenly we're in this, the world has changed, but we're in this really rigorous acting program. Oh my God, it was so emotionally fraught. Every single day was emotionally fraught, you know? So from that, we did a lot of great work. Like we did a lot of, I remember we did a lot of Chekhov. I remember we did Uncle Vanya, which was so, we did a lot of, I don't know if you know Gorky, The Lower Depths. We did Godot too. We did scene work. So every Wednesday we would do a new, basically production from one of those plays we were assigned. And the whole point of the O'Neill was it's theater boot camp. You cannot say no. It is Monday through Sunday. I mean, I think we had a few hours off. It was all day long, all theater, all the time. We did Russian movement. We did directing, playwriting. Oh my God, we did African dance. We did everything. It's enough to drive you insane anyway, but the world around us had changed so drastically. So it shaped me as a human being. And the biggest thing I think it shaped me as a human being is I can do anything. I really feel like artistically I can do anything. And that's from my training at the O'Neill.
So can I ask you, of all the roles that you have played as an actress, whether in conservatory or elsewhere, what's your favorite?
I can tell you that right away. I was in a production of Mother Courage, Brecht's Mother Courage, and her daughter is a mute. She's not deaf. She just chooses to be mute girl named Katrin. And I was on stage for this 3-hour production of Mother Courage. It ran for a long time, and I didn't have a single line. And for some reason, that was very liberating. And I think that was my favorite role. I just remember, and she's a big part. She's with Mother Courage the entire time.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the show, she climbs to the top of the stage and she has to warn people that the enemy is coming. So I was given this like tambourine drum thing, and I climbed to the top of the stage and I beat that drum every night, just feverishly beat the drum. I was only 24 at the time. And I remember that being such a powerful acting opportunity for me.
Yeah, because the monologue did not go well. The monologue was.
It just could. I couldn't. Well, actually, I did a lot of that gesticular stuff.
Yeah.
I wasn't very good, actually. I was relying very much on my charm. I didn't really use, but because I didn't have any lines, it came off really well at the time.
Well, you're supposed to be a young kid, banging the drum.
Yeah.
So let me also ask, though, in terms of you're a playwright, not a director per se, but you've interviewed a whole bunch of very well-known theatrical directors. You put a book out called The Lost Conversation. So what did you glean? You tell some of the folks that you talked to, and what were some of the things that you most remember from what they told you?
It was so awesome. And it was during COVID when all these famous, legendary downtown theater artists had nothing going on and nothing to do. So me, who am I? I was like, will you talk to me? They're like, well, I guess I'll talk to you. And they were very honest. And mostly what I asked these artists was how did you do it? I talked to Andre Gregory from My Dinner with Andre. I talked to Robert Wilson, Bill T. Jones, Joanne Akalitis, David Henry Huang, Lola Pashalinsky, Jennifer Tipton, all these downtown, David Van Tighem, who I'm working with now, all these downtown artists who had a very different ideology than we have now. They just did it to do it. I mean, that's a lot of what I got from it. The other thing I got from it is I think the biggest thing I got from it is that's different from now, is that you have an actor and you have a director and you have a company. Let's say you have the company. Then there's the play up here, and you almost view it. A lot of these artists had the same view. You almost view the play as the marriage. There's the husband, the wife, and then the marriage, and you are in service to the marriage. And for me, that really resonated because this theater life is not for me, and it's not for your resume, and it's not so that I can be rich. It's in service to something bigger than all of us. And so that, again, that's that religious feeling. It does feel like the play you're working on is a higher power. And a lot of it was sort of an innate philosophy that a lot of the downtown artists had back then. So, and of course they had egos too.
Who is the most snobby, snooty, egotistical? You can say.
I really shouldn't verbalize
that.
You
should. Yeah, you should.
Well, I'll say Bob Wilson didn't get on the phone with me. He just wanted to talk online. So that was I was like, well, I'm approachable. I totally wouldn't have freaked him out. But, he just wanted to talk online. So.
I mean, did some just want to answer questions by email and not?
Just him. Okay. Everybody else talked to me in person. So it was during COVID. So I talked to them on the phone. I didn't want to talk to them on the phone, but a lot of these artists were in their 80s and some of them were in their 90s. And if I had gone to them, I didn't want to risk that. Lee Brewer has since passed away, and Richard Foreman died this year. And I was able to interview them before they died. And so I didn't want to go in person and risk giving them COVID and killing them. So
good. Well, they died anyway. So wouldn't really have made that much of a difference. Did you ask Richard Foreman why his plays were so terrible? I was just.
You know what? That's what's amazing about. And I told him a story that the first Richard Foreman play I saw, I went with a guy I was dating at the time, and I think it might have broken us up because he hated it so much.
All right.
And I didn't. I actually found it very intriguing. I didn't understand it, but I had never seen anything like that. I have since become a gigantic fan of Foreman's.
Really?
Yeah. I think that it takes time, and it takes a recalibration of time in your brain. It's almost like viewing your own dreams or somebody else's. I think Foreman is the genius of our time, and he should be celebrated as a national treasure, and he's not, which is unfortunate. But at the time, I didn't understand it, and my boyfriend at the time was like, we have nothing in common now.
Oh, my God! No, theater has broken up a few of the relationships of the person who produces this show, I can tell you that. But what about the Worcester Group people? Did you talk to Valk or LeCompte or any of those?
I worked there. I worked at the Worcester Group for a year. My husband worked there for I think 8 years. And I met my husband, I was an intern, and I'm telling you this now as a 2025 Me Too champion. I was an intern at the Wooster Group, and I started dating my husband there, like kind of secretly before you would get in trouble for that.
Oh.
And we sort of fell in love at the Performing Garage, and we toured the world, and we're married now and have 2 kids. So I attribute my whole life to the Wooster Group.
Okay, so what shows were you working on at that point? Which ones were they doing?
The one that I was there for was the one my husband video designed, Richard Burton's Hamlet, and Reed had designed the video to erase characters. He did something called rotoscoping, and he erased characters out of Hamlet, and then their company would perform in front of the rotoscoped video. It was beautiful. I got to tour to the Pompidou Center in Paris, and we went to, I can't remember the name of the theater, in Amsterdam. I just toured the world, and I was in love with this guy. You know, it was one of the best stretches of years I've ever had. And I was just like a stage door Johnny, you know. I was just an intern. I had no real, I was like 24, 25.
So you've been married for about 20 years now
Well, we've been together for 20 years, but we've been married. We're in our 15th year, of marriage.
Basil McGlick.
Yeah.
So does it, I mean, with you home all the time, he's out there at the physical museum, so you have your time and
Sometimes he's home a little bit, and sometimes he has to be on site for events and stuff. So
cool. So what makes it work? 2 artists, 2 creative people. How do you not butt heads?
We talk about this a lot. Uniquely, our love language is this, and
It's theater.
Yeah. And we make theater together. We came together through the theater. We understand the same weird shit. We love the same weird shit. We love the same theater artists. It is a form of intimacy that I am so lucky to have with someone else. And I would say that's the one thing we never argue about. It's the one thing we love together. It's like a third child, our theater.
So he doesn't hate Richard Foreman.
My God, no.
Okay.
He loves Foreman. He understood Foreman before I did. And he knew him. He worked a little bit fringily with him. But a lot of my friends worked with Foreman. I didn't, but I saw so much. And I know he's difficult. I wish I could teach him in some ways. Because I think once you unlock the Formaniness in your own brain, it's easier. Because it took me years.
Years? Oh my God. Yeah, all right.
I hated him. I was like, yeah.
This goes back to the thing of like when you don't understand something, it's not like, well, let me look at the Google Wikipedia listing on this and see if I like. No, you're like, I'm going to take a few months and immerse myself in something I hate and then come out the other side and maybe like it.
I have a who am I? I mean, he's been around since the 60s. He must be doing something. And I must know what that is. I think my curiosity has driven everything for me. So
now I am a bit curious. You mentioned the whole Me Too movement thing, which you're very strong about. You're very, very into. And there's a thing, speaking of Wikipedia, where you helped, along with a bunch of other people, bring down what you might call a predator. So feel free. What who and what and how and etc.
Can I tell that story?
Oh, please do. With graphic images too. Yeah.
Really? Okay. I was 23 or 24, and I was oddly very successful as a voice actor. This is like 23 years ago. And I had an agent right away. I was booking jobs. It's very unusual for that to happen to someone in the commercial world right away, but it was happening for me. And I was told to train with this guy, Peter O'Fay. And he was very expensive. He was like $300 a session. I borrowed money from my family. Yeah, really, really well respected in the world. He was like the Harvey Weinstein of voice coaching, really. And I went to 3 sessions, and on the 3rd session, he locked me in a sound booth and he masturbated. And he finished, and he had me take off my shirt, and it was an assault, basically. I won't get into every detail. But once he was done pleasuring himself, he told me never to speak of it again. He unlocked the booth, and he let me go. And I remember at the time making 2 promises to myself. I'm never going to tell a single person that this ever happened. And the reason why is because I'm sure I caused this. I'm sure I did. And so I know it's crazy, but at the time I was like, that had never happened to me before. And I was so new to the business that I was like, I guess maybe this is common and I caused this. So fast forward to Rose McGowan talking about Harvey Weinstein, a similar situation. I read her account. This is now 15 years later. I read her account in the New Yorker, and all that memory started flooding back. And I didn't tell anyone. I still hadn't told anyone. So I reached out, managed to find 9 other women that this had happened to. I did it through a Facebook messaging system we had. And then from there, we told a reporter at CNN, and her name was Bryn Gringis, and she, Gingras, I'm mispronouncing her name, she wrote a feature on us. At that point, we had grown to 16, and the feature came out, and his life was destroyed, ruined. And from there, once CNN got the story, the guy who brought Weinstein in, his name is Nick DeGaudio. He was the detective on the Weinstein case at the NYPD. He took on our case, and he found that Rafay had raped 3 women. Yeah. So in the same way that he locked me, he did the same thing. So those women completely understandably didn't want to come out. And so we were unable to criminally prosecute him. However, we were able to take him to civil court, and he lost his business and his reputation. And, he lives happily with his wife, same wife now, but he sexually assaulted 60 women. And it's one of my proudest moments, being able to talk about it freely, being able to come out about it, being able to take away from him. I lost my voice acting career from that completely. So I'm back now. I've returned.
Wait. Because nobody would hire you because you were making trouble? Why did your voice career go down?
After the assault, I couldn't book a job. I was so rattled from the...
Okay, got it. Yeah. I thought it was external factors, but you just were like, I get you. You would go into a booth. Yeah,
I would go into a booth and I would suck and I would get nervous and I just...
Well, at least you didn't have to suck when you went into a booth. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I had to say that.
Right, listen, we're of the tribe. You have to make a joke out of horror. You have to.
It's amazing. You're partly Jewish and we haven't even talked about the Holocaust yet. How did we avoid this whole time? But I'm glad that you spoke up.
And now I've returned, since coming out over the years, I've returned to voice acting. I got an agent again. I've done commercials again. I do voiceover and audio. It was my original calling. That's what I was originally supposed to do. And theater acting and playwriting, but he took that away from me psychologically, not...
Got it, yeah.
He did that to 60, he ruined the careers of all these amazing women, and he deserves to be in prison, but he isn't, so...
Maybe there'll be a place in Trump's cabinet for him. You never know.
I'm sure, yeah. And then in prison together, maybe.
Now, speaking of politics, you have defined yourself as a very, very left-wing kind of person and stuff like that. How are you getting through the last 5 or 6 months or so?
You know what? I either vacillate toward this is just an extinction burst, like our country has to go through this, just like Spain did, I guess just like, I don't know, Germany did. They all went through a fascist explosion and then they got to democracy again. Maybe that's what's happening here, and we're going to get through this. I think of Spain a lot because after Franco died, they went to democracy like pretty quickly. He was dictator for like 40 years. So maybe that's my optimistic take. But the other take is I am living in the upside down, as my husband said the other day. We all are. I can't believe that it doesn't matter if I'm left wing. This is just cruelty. How can... I mean, the similarities between now and speaking of the Holocaust, everything is in line. How can they? And then I was sure the Epstein thing would take him down. Maybe it will.
When he's 87, on his deathbed, they'll say, "Okay, we're going to arrest you now." And they go,
"Yeah, I'll get to go to retirement or something." But I don't know. I mean, I live in a constant state of just bewilderment. I'm sure you do too.
I'm probably not as, look at me, I'm probably not quite as left as you are. Not to mention I am a staunch Zionist. I don't even want to talk with you about that because I'm guessing that you're probably...
No, I spent a long time in Israel. I was in Israel for, in college, I did this scholarship it was an archaeology trip through the religion department. And I was in Jerusalem and Eilat, and I went to Jordan. We went to... we went to Tel Aviv. It was awesome. And so I very much value that time. It was so important to me. And I have family in Tel Aviv still.
So what's your happiest memory of all those places? You spent a lot of time in Eilat. You spent Jerusalem. So one great memory of Eretz Yisrael.
I climbed Mount Masada on foot and I stood at the edge. And I don't know if you've been to Mount Masada, but
No, I haven't mounted anyone in a long time. Yes.
there's a oh God, give me 2 seconds. Sorry.
1, 2,
Count to
3, 4. All right, you're wasting my time now. What's going on here? Here we go.
On Mount Masada, you can stand at the very top and you look out onto the desert, and it's like being on another planet. It's like being on Mars, and you can see this turquoise. Is it the Red Sea or the Med Sea? I can never remember which one it is. It's turquoise. It must be the Med Sea. And we had a tour guide with us, and he was talking us through what happened on the top of Mount Masada, where the fathers, rather than be killed by the Romans anyway, who were coming, they took it upon themselves to kill their own families. Yeah. And he told us all that, and that happened here, and this happened here. And I remember it was like I lost my sense of time and self. It was so cool. It was so time travel-y and spiritual. And so, yeah, the top of, and having climbed to the top too was exhausting. And I was only 19. I think it was 19. No, I was 20. Was I 20 or 19? I can't remember. But
I couldn't. This is only a question that you can answer, because I don't know. You can answer that one. But it sounds. I got chills. I go. Look. The fringes of my talus are shaking.
Look at that.
All right. I have a couple of quick questions for you. We have just a couple more minutes here with Sara Farrington. But okay, get ready. Get ready. What was the name of Homer Simpson's barbershop quartet?
The B sharps.
Yes! Very good. What is the name of Springfield's motel?
Fuck.
No, that's not it.
Okay, give me the next one, because I know what that one is.
We'll come back to that one. We have just or you need silence.
I'm a Simpsons expert, and I didn't know this was coming, and I should have refreshed my Simpsons mind.
Sure.
The hotel, I can see the sign in my mind's eye. But go ahead, go to the next one.
All right. What is the name of Mr. Burns's teddy bear?
Bobo.
Yes, yeah, all right, very good. And what quote did Homer have in his high school yearbook?
I can't believe I ate the whole thing.
Whoa. All right, so let's get back to the Springfield motel.
I can see it because there's one letter kind of flickering in it. I don't think I'm going to...
I'll give you a clue. It might be the last letter of the alphabet. Okay, I mean...
Sleazy? Does it have sleazy in it?
Close. I mean, you're very into you're near. I'll give you a half.
I don't think I'm going to... You have to give me some of it.
It's the Sleep Easy motel.
Sleep Easy Motel. Okay, yeah. I knew it was like sleep... And then the thing is missing, so it says sleazy.
Oh, so that's how they did sleazy. So,
I got that one right.
3 quarters. Come on, and you need a hint. But 3 3/4 out of 4. You are still. So here's the deal. The Simpsons has been on for what, 35 years now?
Yeah, more than that. Yeah.
So do you know like the first 20 years and then the past 15? Or are you really?
I can do seasons 1 through 10. After 10. It becomes Zombie Simpsons. Do you know about Zombie Simpsons?
No, I honestly don't know about it.
The writers, there's a documentary about it on YouTube. The writers changed, and so it looks like The Simpsons, but it's just broad comedy now. And instead of being a cutting-edge commentary on American society, it's now of American society. It's celebrity culture. So I think I know exactly the episode where they jump the shark, too. But
what was the episode where, in your opinion, I think The Simpsons can still be very good, but not that I've seen it in the past 20 years, but what episode did they kind of...
Yeah, there's an episode where Homer becomes Kim Basinger and Alec Baldwin's personal assistant in season 10, and it's so laden with celebrity references and snooty, like, these muffins came from the Gersh agency. Like, only people in the know what the Gersh agency.
I remember that moment. That's hysterical. The idea of, where are those muffins now? Oh, Gersh agency. I quote that. I love that.
Some people think that the episode where they jump the shark is The Principal and the Pauper, but I disagree with that. Because in The Principal and the Pauper, they take away Skinner's identity, and they give him Armin Tanzarian's identity, which they then do much later in the series. But that was the first time they said, oh, the backstory you think you know to The Simpsons, it's not real. It's not real. And people think that. I thought that was funny because it was a subtle adaptation of Catch-22 with, what's his name? Armin Yossarian.
Yeah.
it's got some, it's sort of brainy like that. And I liked that story. And I also liked how everybody was in on it. I think it's actually quite a brilliant episode, but a lot of Simpsons fans disagree with me.
So
and that's season 8. That's season 8.
So that's early for jumping. So do you even still watch The Simpsons, but you kind of don't bother to memorize it, or you kind of not being...
My kids watch the new ones, and they swear by them. But I don't. I can't bear to watch the new ones, but I will go back and watch the old ones. I listen to, my husband says I listen to them like music. Like the scripts to The Simpsons feel, it's every moment in The Simpsons in that
era. Yeah.
Is a joke. Every line is a joke. And that's so rare. Not only is it a joke, but some of them are jokes within jokes. And I just, the scripts themselves sound like songs to me. So
can I ask you, what is your favorite play of all?
I can say my favorite Simpson.
Oh no, who's your favorite Simpson? My
favorite Simpsons episode. My favorite Simpsons episode.
Yeah. Is?
As a rabbi, Bart sells his soul.
Is this with Kostofsky? Is Krusty in there, or is this a whole different one? No. Okay.
I know the ones that you're referring to, but this is Bart sells his soul. He sells his soul to Milhouse, and what the repercussions of selling his soul mean. It is such a good episode. I know every word to it.
Wow. Now I'm going to go to, since you love that kind of intricacy of comedy of wordplay, I'm just wondering what your favorite play is.
My favorite play. I know this is sort of a generic answer, but I think the perfect play is A Streetcar Named Desire.
Oh, okay. What makes it more perfect than Death of a Salesman or Futz or whatever?
Death of a Salesman is also really good, but I can't. Tennessee Williams, there will never be anyone, and nor has there ever been anyone. That play is, it's just, I just saw it the other day. I saw it at BAM again. It is so, the characters are so, instead of the characters talking, they are, and they embody, and they don't monologue. They do, but it's all from these really staunch, fierce, desired people. They all want something so fiercely, and they're all lying to themselves. It is such a perfect play. It kills me, that play. It really does. So I think that might be, I don't know if it's is it my favorite play or is it the perfect play? I don't know.
There's obviously another play rattling around in your head right now that says, I'm the play that you really like. That was, Streetcar Named Desire is genius, but give or take, I think I rather.
The play that I really like. Oh my God. I didn't know you were going to ask this.
I didn't know I was going to ask it, but I'm asking it. Yeah.
Okay, how about this? I'm going to go on record and say that the play that I love the most is Streetcar Named Desire because it checks all my boxes. It moves me too.
Yeah. And also, you being a Me Too person, it's a very Me Too-ish kind of, cautionary tale. Yeah.
I also, and this is also a very generic answer, I also think Long Day's Journey into Night is the perfect play as well.
That's pretty. Right. Even the scene with the maid in the kitchen.
Well, there's a lot of O'Neillian talk in there, and there's a lot of sort of heavy-handed exposition. It sounds heavy-handed to us. Back then, it wasn't. It was very natural back then because it was new. But that might be up there too.
Have you ever played Mary Tyrone? Did you ever get a chance?
No.
I mean, in scene work scene
work. No, but I did take a playwriting class in his house.
Oh, right, from the O'Neill Center. Yeah.
No, well, I actually went to Connecticut College, which is down the street. Yeah, and we there was a playwriting seminar I would take once a week in O'Neill's living room. It was amazing. It was like ghostly, and they have Colleen Dewhurst's costume. She played, I think she played Jose Quintero's version of Mary Tyrone, but they have her costume on a mannequin at the window, and so it looks like there's someone standing in the window, like looking out onto the bay.
Whoa! I always thought the funniest thing about that is that he was so lonely, he was so miserable, he was such a lousy, and his father was so cheap in real life, the O'Neill. And when he bought this place, meanwhile, now anybody going to that place, look, a charming little house. Oh, I hope it's under $2 million. I would buy it as heartbeat. It's gorgeous,
I know, and not only that, but when you drive, New London used to be like a resort. You know, it used to be where like the rich would go to hang, like it would be like Martha's Vineyard kind of. But now when you look across the bay, you see like Pfizer and stuff. It's so weird. You see like towering factories and Groton, of course, has a lot of, it's very industrial now, but the house is still maintained as like almost a museum to O'Neill. So
we have been talking with Sara Farrington, ladies and gentlemen. We want to remind you that her adaptation of Euripides is the Trojan Women. She narrows it down. She makes it a Trojan Woman that is playing this weekend at the Powerhouse Theater in Vassar. And you can find out more about her and all the plays she's written. In fact, we have one more question about that. LadyFarrington.com. That's 2 R's in Farrington, LadyFarrington.com. So, last question to you, and this is really not fair, but what is your favorite play of your own?
am I allowed to say the new thing that I wrote?
Well, yeah, everybody says, the thing I'm working on now. Yeah, go ahead.
Right now, I wrote a musical from, it's my first musical. We just did a first reading last night with our company, which is so awesome. But I got the rights to adapt a documentary called Lost Soul, The Doomed Journey of Richard Stanley's Island of Dr. Moreau. It's a long title. That's the documentary, made in 2014. It's the story of why the 1996 Marlon Brando, Val Kilmer, Dr. Moreau movie is so unwatchable. So I got the rights to do whatever I want with it, which is unbelievable. So this year, I've basically turned it into a musical, and it is, talk about, I actually think my Simpsons awareness has fueled into this script because every line is funny. Every line.
Oh, cool. All right. But then, are you the songwriter as well, or do you have people that you're working with? It's a musical, you said.
Yeah. I wrote the book, and I'm the lyrical Sondheim in this particular job. But I wrote the book, the scripts, and the lyrics, and we have a composer named David Van Tighem. He's one of the guys,
Yeah, he's a rather well-known downtown music artist for the last, 50 years. Yes, David Van... Wow!
Yeah, I'm thrilled that he wants to do it. He's actually playing Dr. Uncanny. Dr. Uncanny is a fictional public access host that I invented who kind of is the narrator. So my husband actually came up with that brilliant idea. We work very close, and he's directing it. He's kind of conceived it with me, So
you've had a reading, and then you're going to get some development of it, or not going to work on reading more in October. Yeah. Where do you see it, developing beyond that? I
know this sounds crazy, but I'm manifesting this one visually in my mind.
Hold my hands. Hold my hands. I'll make it happen. There we go. And you're manifesting what?
I want this one to be the one of mine that opens on Broadway.
All right.
I never had a play on Broadway, obviously, but I think this one, the way that I summoned all my powers for this one, so...
I always thought my one-man show would open on Broadway, too, but it would be a Papaya King. Didn't quite happen. Sorry. Still hoping to revive it, though.
It's specific.
We have been talking with the lovely and delightful Sara Farrington. We thank you. We wish you much, much good health, good mazel. Good luck with the Dr. Moreau piece. Certainly continued great luck with A Trojan Woman, which, again, it sounds like a laugh and a half. It really, but important for these. Please, published by whom? Who's the
Broadway Play Publishing? Broadway Play Publishing. Yeah, they publish new plays. So.
And I guess we also have to then mention who's publishing another play of yours called Leisure, Labor, Lust. You had me on the last one. So where's that? When and where and who's coming out with that?
That is coming out on October 1st, and I can't believe someone's publishing it because it's very strangely written. It's a very twisty narrative, but it's coming out at Next Stage Press. It's like a boutique publisher. So that one's coming out. That one I am deeply proud of that one. It's so meaningful to me that someone saw enough beauty in it to publish it, because I think it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever written. So.
Oh, he said it was about turn of the century New York, but 3 different. Is it like an omnibus thing of 3 different stories or something?
No, kind of. I took Edith Wharton's Uptown World, and I took Jacob Riis's Downtown World of New York, and I invented some characters out of that, and they all work similar to sort of a Downton Abbey vibe. They all work in this one house, and it's very inspired by Edith Wharton. Edith Wharton had an affair with a bisexual man.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if you know that. Yeah, and so I fell in love with that story. And I was like, this, and he was much younger than her. She was like 20 years, I think 15 years older than him. And her husband was mentally ill during that time. So we performed it at Edith Wharton's house, actually, twice. Yeah.
Wow. So I gotta write a play about a very, very, very rich person, so I can just perform it at his house and use their pool.
She wasn't around to see it, sadly.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Sara Farrington, thank you so much. And of course, the most important thing, shalom to you.
Shalom. Thank you, Mazel. Awesome.
Here in the Daverhood, live on this Saturday morning, July 26th, 2025. We're on air here in the Daverhood, doing our 992nd episode of the program with Rabbi Sol Solomon. To find out more about him, make sure you go to shalomdammit.com. That is his website, shalomdammit.com. It's the place where you can watch all of his interviews as well as his rabbinical reflections, his mini sermons that he does. Also, his stage show that he mentioned in the conversation there, Shalom Dammit, An Evening with Rabbi Sol Solomon, which was taped at the Richmond Shepherd Theater in New York when that existed. And it's still up on shalomdammit.com, as are 10 episodes of his hysterically funny TV series, Shalom Dammit, Rabbi Sol Solomon's Peace, Love, and Acid Reflux Hour. Well, we also thank, of course, Sara Farrington for joining us, and gotta say a big thank you to Shay McGovern, the press agent at the Keith Sherman Agency. Keith has been on this program a couple of years back, so it's great that Shay set up that interview with Kate and brought her to the Daverhood. Well, I'm Dave Lefkowitz, and we have a bit more to do on this episode of the program. We've got our Colorado Limerick of the Damned coming up. We also have our friends of the Daverhood. I've just mentioned two of them, Rabbi Sol and Kate. So let us get to our word of the day. It's a segment called Dave's Big Dick Dictionary, and it involves me being forced to,
Whenever you say the word, you should do that.
it's rattling in my brain here. Say the secret word. No, I did want to, before we get to Dave's Big Dictionary, I did want to, you just reminded me of something that we didn't quite mention last week. Oh, because we're going to talk about it this week.
What?
Thank you for bringing that up.
What?
One of the things that we did do in the past week or so is we were watching this, we talked about it a little bit. Sorry?
We're watching a lot of KTV, like Late Life Single, and then a lot of Korean television. Because when you watch one show, they recommend other ones that are in the same, like they're like, if you like this, you like that.
You don't like that. So one of the things that I recommended, because it was a game show, and those are kind of fun to watch, and I do think we talked a bit about this last week. We were in the middle of watching this incredibly complicated team game show out of Korea, where they got really, really bright people, even brilliant people, some of them kind of famous in Korea. And they would have to...
They all are. They're actresses, they're newscasters, they're like science people, they're like... One guy had the highest IQ, and I think of... Mensa,
178 or something like that. So... can you tell what the game? Can you explain to our viewers at home?
So it's like a survival game, except they have to some cheat and some play fair and some, but you have to beat these games, and these games are horrific.
Yeah. It's not like the games where you have to swallow a scorpion or things like that. No, it's totally.
It's mental games.
This is along the lines of you have to figure out some spatial relations in a maze, and this goes over and this goes under, and you help each other.
Then you have to do order of calculations to there's billions of tiles, and you have to get 19 as a total. So it's 2 times 7 parentheses plus 3 divided by, and then you have to
I mean, literally put calculus
in 10 minutes,
into the assignment that these people have to complete. There's a calculus equation as part of the rules.
Yeah.
And what struck us as me as hilarious, at least, is that when they would have these specific games and assignments to do, they would give the rules. And this is the rules for a Japanese game show.
To explain them.
Yeah. And for each of these games, or for a couple of them, telling the rules took 5 full
On average,
minutes
yeah, it was a long
of time. The comparison, what's hysterical to me, I'll show you, to American game shows is amazing. So here's, this is a short one. This is a short explanation of a game that they're playing in this show, which is called something about Beat the Devil or the Devil in the Details or something.
Prison match will begin in 30 minutes. The winner of tonight's cell block showdown will not only qualify for the final round, they'll get to sleep in the living area with the other remaining player.
That's great news.
And the defeated player will be eliminated from the Devil's
We
play.
have to take care of Sogi.
And those are some of the contestants talking in the background while the guy...
They also give them, like, if it's a board where they have to do, like, black and white pieces or blue and red, they give them, like mock versions that they could go in the bathrooms and do, and
It's like chess players before they go out to play the match. They've got behind the scenes. But check, this is one game, and this is only going to be about 2.5 minutes. See if you can follow these rules.
Pen and paper.
Now, it's time to introduce the 6th prison match, which will decide who progresses to the final round. Tonight's high-stakes match is called Equation Pyramid.
Equation Pyramid.
Is a game in which players select 3 squares from the board and combine the numbers in them to form an equation that produces a target number. The game will last for a total of 10 rounds, and before we begin, both players will be given an individual buzzer. At the beginning of each round, a pyramid-shaped board and a target number will be revealed to both players. The game board consists of 10 squares which contain one of 4 arithmetic operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Each of the squares also contains a number which will be critical in forming your equation. Once the board is revealed, each player will choose 3 squares and use them to make an equation which produces the target number. Please note, however, that each square can only be used once. Also, the operation attached to the first square in your equation will always be disregarded. The completed equation will be calculated in accordance with the order of operations.
Sure.
For example, if the target number is 9, the following 4 combinations are considered correct answers: C, A, F, D, E, H, F, A, C, G, D, E. Those 4 equations produce the target number. The first player to identify a correct answer must press their buzzer and state their equation within 10 seconds. If their answer is correct, they will be awarded 1 point. If their answer is incorrect, they will have 1 point deducted from their score.
Young you will be good at this.
If a player provides an answer that has already been given or hits their buzzer but fails to answer within the 10 seconds allotted, this will also result in a 1 point deduction.
What a well-made game.
Once the round begins, it can only end in one of 2 ways: once 3 minutes have passed, or until the players have found all possible correct answers.
Okay, please understand that this is part of the show. This particular game, the rules take half the time of some of the other things that they had to do.
This is a shorter version.
Yeah.
This is an abbreviated version of the rules.
Now, please understand the difference between this Korean game and like an American game show. Like The Price is Right. Okay, we're going to hold up something that sells for a retail price.
You guess a number, and then we hit a buzzer.
Yeah, you can't go over the price, but guess the price closest. Okay, go. That's the rule. There it is. There it is. You know, concentration. Okay, there's a rebus behind these. We get the panels, and if you guess what the rebus stands for, you win. That's it. Tic-tac-toe. These are Americans are idiots in a way, but it's a good game. Our smartest game show. The jewel in the crown, the ultimate is Jeopardy, right?
Sad.
Jeopardy makes everybody feel smart.
No math, yeah.
The rule of Jeopardy is, okay, we have a list of questions
Yes, you have to pick one.
in a row. You pick a question, we ask the question, and you have to answer in the form of a question.
That's deep.
If you get it right, you get the money of that particular question. If you get it wrong, we have the money deducted. Okay, let's go. Let's play. And then Final Jeopardy involves a little bit of strategy because you have to bet a certain amount of money on whether you'll get the question right or not. That's it. There it is. This is American gaming. Korean gaming is, okay, we have a battleship which has 4,000 pipes in it. Now the green and yellow pipes, each of those have a quadratic equation in each of the pipes that you have to guess using the Pythagorean theorem.
And then
Now,
you have to run and hit the buzzer.
yes.
The
And
next person.
now, of course, the buzzer is in a force field. And to dismantle the force field so you don't get shocked touching the buzzer, I just found it absolutely hysterical. You have no idea what those people are doing up there, and yet they're smart enough to figure half of the things out. But it also made me remember, and that's why this was apropos. Mm-hmm. It made me remember, like, Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, right? The series that brought him back into public consciousness after the Marx Brothers had fallen away and stuff, and he didn't really have much of a film career after that. So he gets on the show that is ostensibly an excuse for Groucho to joke and tummel with, but there was ostensibly also a game show theme. And here's summed up what would happen. It's like, Fenneman is like, there's a secret word, and a duck would come down with Groucho nose and eyes and mustache, and the duck would have a word in its mouth. And if Groucho could get them in the course of conversation to say the secret word, they would win $100. That was the game.
That's not very elaborate.
That's the entire game. And Groucho would tumble with these people, and then towards the end of the conversation, he'd sort of try to lead the conversation so that they win $100, which was, a pittance, but, you could buy a few things with $100 in 1958.
It wasn't very deep, what you're trying to say.
But that's an American game show.
That's the extent of which we...
Korean game show, but like, you begin with a secret word. Now, the secret word you have to figure... We're not going to tell you what it is. You have to figure it out using this Mayan codec.
That would be you could get the secret word after you complete several missions.
Yeah. It's like...
Remember the one they had water and they had shapes and metal.
Yeah.
And you had to adjust the shapes to go, and you could block people, and you had to and thieves and robbers where you had to do geometric planning and
Yeah, it was absolutely. I'm watching this, and I have terrible spatial relations issues. I could never figure geometry and trig were just lost to me. If I had to do things involving industrial arts and mechanical engineering, I'd be completely lost. And yet these people are like, oh, I can take this piece and it goes over the bridge and then under the water and then comes back up and stop it. Just stop it. This is like, I'm not watching any more Korean game shows. The Japanese game shows that I watched when I was a kid, those were hysterical. Those were madness. They were like Sabado Gigante times 12. I will never forget, I used to watch with my friend at the time, Scott. We would put on NHK Caillou Hall. And it was a mix of a variety show and a game show out of Japan. NHK was like the Japanese broadcaster. NHK Caillou Hall. And so there would be periods where they'd be playing a game, and then someone would come out and sing some Japanese hit that the audience would sing along with, or some classic. And then they'd get back to the game show. And it was still one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. The moderator would ask a question of the contestants. And while the contestants were trying to think of the answer, you would hear a siren. What? This incredibly blaring siren going, boo, 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 until they buzzed in.
Why?
You don't ask why.
Oh, okay.
With Japanese game shows. You literally don't ask why. It was like the most antithetical. I don't know. I don't speak Japanese.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it was sort of like a symbolic victory like they do in QI.
But there was no translation?
No. This was on Channel 47 or Channel 41 on like Saturday nights. I would show. And, while other teenagers were out there finding girls and getting laid, I was watching NHK Caillou Hall. Pew, 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 pew. Oh my, that's all going. And then they sing. It was the dumbest thing I'd ever seen in my life, and it was wonderful. Just because it was the dumbest thing I'd ever seen in my life. And then there was another, it wasn't more a game show, it was more like the Japanese version of Candid Camera. Like I saw one time of like an HBO special on worst, most ridiculous shows ever. And it was, this is long before Pranked and punked and jackass. And they would have just a Japanese man kind of hidden. And people would be walking down the street or riding a bicycle. And he'd just jump out of nowhere and scream at them and try to scare them and make them like fall down or scream. He was like, oh! Like, the guy would fall off his bike and the audience would go crazy. It was gonzo comedy, if you will, before there was, in a big way, that whole era of Tom Green, Jackass, whoever else was doing like, oh my God, I can't believe they're doing that. It's actually dangerous and stupid, which, of course, makes me love it. Anyway, we're not dangerous here in the Daverhood, just kind of stupid. And I feel kind of stupid now because I have, it's time for Dave's Big Dictionary, which is a segment where we pick a word at random, and then my job is to talk about that word in whatever comes to my mind. And I thought, when I saw the word, I'm like, oh, this is a great word. I can think of so many things to talk about. It's got all these things. And now I've been trying to roll my mind around it.
Give me the word again.
Yeah, the word for Dave's Big Dictionary is embellish. Extra, tell all about it. It's Dave's Big Dictionary. Now, you all know the word. Everybody knows. I'll look it up. I'll look up again on Webster's dictionary. To embellish is to make beautiful with ornamentation, to decorate. It is Merriam-Webster's word of the day. That's how they randomize it. Or maybe it's not random for them, but to us, we don't know what the word is going to be. To heighten the attractiveness of by adding decorative or fanciful details. To enhance. Did you know embellish came to English by the way of Anglo-French, from the Latin word bellus, meaning beautiful. And bella, in all these languages is something beautiful. It's in good company. Modern language is adorned with bellus descendants, such as beauty, belle, and beau. Beau is from belle too. And the beauty of bellus reaches beyond English. It's seen in the French belle, a word meaning beautiful, directly related to embellish, and in Spanish, bellus is evidenced in the word bello, also meaning beautiful. And it's a synonym of to exaggerate, to enhance, to pad or pad out, adorn, decorate, ornament, blah, 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 blah. So there's embellish, right?
So just tell me the facts, don't.
Yeah. But that's the thing. I don't necessarily.
You are an embellisher.
Am I?
Yes.
When do I embellish? Seriously.
Like the stories in the Greeley crimes in old times, you really embellish those. We have a lot of color and flavor to them.
With the noises, with the sound effects, and with.
Yeah, and you embellish the room.
Oh, when I do, this is obviously. It's a rather low rent set, ladies and gentlemen, but.
Thanks, David.
What? These are my cutouts. These are my all these.
Who did it?
Oh, nothing. The numbers are my wife's, but everything else is stuff from that I just kind of clipped out of magazines. And I thought for today, it's a very summery look with a kiwi there and a little ladybug and stuff. But there's a time, I guess, for embellishing things, and a time not. It's kind of. When you listen to the old black blues players and early folk singers, you don't want anything else. You want just this guy sitting on a porch with his guitar, and anything added to that is not going to make it better. In a weird way, you can add beautiful harmony, you can add instruments under, you don't. Why would you embellish it? And then other times it does work. I mean, if you think about it, the reason that Simon and Garfunkel became famous on a certain level is that they took, initially The Sound of Silence was on their first or an early album as a folk song.
That guy who did it.
I hate that.
That's embellishing.
That's embellishing. Yeah. But even there, unbeknownst to Simon and Garfunkel, and certainly Paul Simon who wrote the song, I don't know if it was Roy Halley or somebody else at CBS, they took the folk song on guitar, like their first album was, and then he added the rock instrumentation, the drums, the electric guitars, and so forth, and laid the same vocals over it, and created a song that I assume went to top 10 in the top 40, and it's become a classic, right? So in that case, yeah, nobody wants to listen to the folk version except as an anomaly every once in a while. Oh, yeah, it's kind of nice as a folk version. No, we all know the sound of silence from the rock and roll version that was a pure embellishment of a very basic folk track. So sometimes embellishment is necessary and does work. But I've been racking my brains trying to find an anecdote, a story from my life,
Well, your play was an embellishment of your poo-poo incident, right?
How was it? I told the truth. My wife is talking about the miracle of Long John's.
You didn't embellish anything?
Everything in that, I never exaggerated. There was nothing in that play that where I tell the story of my years being a theater critic and the worst shows I had to sit through in New York. And then one time I go to a show that's actually pretty good, but I'm getting over a bad cold, and I have a terrible intestinal problem while the show is going on and no way to solve it. I'm giving away the whole show. It's like a 90-minute show that I'm telling you in 1 minute. But it's a comedy, but it's an absolute, based on a true story, without a single, unless I'm mistaken, embellishment. I don't change anything. I mean, the timeline maybe, or when.
You've
but
never embellished anything?
Well, it's certainly not in that play.
What story have you embellished? Did your dad was an embellisher, no?
He didn't tell big fish stories.
No?
I think one of the beauties of being either trying to be funny, enjoying comedy, or being a comedian is that when you find a story that's funny and hysterical as it is, you don't want to embellish probably don't, because it ruins it. Your audience stops trusting you. They know at the certain point that you're, they can kind of sense, oh my God, this really, really happened. And the moment you've got them on a through line of, this happened, believe it, I know, this happened. The minute you start to go like, then you kind of ruin everything in a way, because then your listener, your audience starts to go, that didn't. And as they say, truth is funnier than fiction. But if truth and fiction start to blur together, you lose the beauty of, oh my God, I can't believe that's true, which was the most important thing in the first place. Anybody can invent anything that happened. Anybody can think of, AI can design any possible, a purple hippopotamus walking along Times Square, falling in love with a parking meter and actually having a child with it. Okay, if that really happened, everybody would be like, holy shit. Yeah.
Hulk Hogan do embellishment?
Well, sure. I mean, if he's having a fight, thank you. If he's having a fight with,
that is Mick Jagger's birthday.
Okay.
Did he embellish?
Muscle. Well, Jagger, I guess when you get on stage as a rock star, you are ultimately embellishing your persona of a person who's mostly back at home sitting at a piano or at a guitar with back in the day, a writing pad, going, does this write? Oh, here's a melody. Keith, you got a melody for me, right? I mean, and then you get up and say, all right, everybody, let's say, and strutting around and doing the whole Jagger, moves like Jagger thing. So that is embellishment. And, I mean, you've seen me embellish my personality when I talk to strangers. I'm constantly trying to get a punchline in. I don't want to be boring. I don't want to be...
I don't think you embellish. I think you, put on a show. Is that embellishing when you put on a show?
It's embellishing my personality, which would rather be home, working on the computer or reading a book.
Me too.
But when I'm talking to someone, I'm actively wanting them to like me, and actually actively looking for the pieces of the conversation so I won't get bored. So I'm looking for the funny, I'm looking for the punchline, and I'm going to lay that in.
What's a theater show that embellishes a lot?
Oh my gosh. Well, most theater tries to, unless it's being verite, right? Unless it's trying to be like, I don't know, not the civilians, but the folks who did
What about
Moises
the
Kaufman.
flavored Oreos? They embellish.
That's, yeah, you don't,
Yeah.
Oreos with double
Blueberry
stuff.
pie. I'm sorry.
With blueberry pie Pop-Tarts or blueberry pie what? It was Oreo, oh God, yeah. That's an embellishment.
We saw them too. We saw them in Target. Remember?
This is an embellishment that is not, however delicious they may be.
Can I check my phone to see if my package came in?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Can I have my phone?
Yeah, it's right here, I have it.
Oh, this one here is an embellishment.
I'm going to embellish my sartorial splendor by putting these Target ears on. Oh, I have to get down real low to do it because
Don't
it'll
hurt
show on the
yourself,
screen.
Don't hurt yourself.
Yeah.
You can raise the table.
Comedy. Here's comedy for you. Well, I have to lower here. Wait.
Oh wow.
Oh no, raise. You're right. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, this is hilarity right there. This is high-level comedy in the Daverhood, my friends. So I have embellished my head with these eyeballs, and eyeballs really do embellish everything. They absolutely do. Get yourself, if you're bored, if you're having a rough summer.
No, googly eyes. You've embellished everything in our house.
With good, not
Everything
everything.
in our house has a googly eye. Even Mel.
Yes, some of the Melvin G. Mintz pictures that we
Yes.
keep. That's an embellishment too.
Our alarm clock.
Yeah.
Right. My noise machine. My sound machine.
I pasted Google, like the people in everything everywhere all at once when they find that in the laundromat. Yes, I do put googly eyes on as many things as I possibly can because, okay, sometimes I do like to embellish, not so much to exaggerate to the point of lying about something and making it grander than it was, but just to the point of making something wilder, crazier, more pretty. Sure, why not? Why not, ladies and gentlemen? So, oh my gosh, it is already noon Eastern Time in the Daverhood. I'm Dave Lefkowitz. This is our 992nd episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the stream, also featuring my darling and adorable wife. Also, it did feature our new friend of the neighborhood, Sara Farrington. Make sure that you go see her. Well, no, she wrote the play. Go see her play, A Trojan Woman, up in Poughkeepsie at Vassar today and tomorrow. And also go check out shalomdammit.com for all the info you want about Rabbi Sol Solomon, who did the interview. And again, big thank you to, what was the, Shay McGovern over at Keith Sherman for setting that up. So
Very interesting.
we thank them for being in the Daverhood today. In fact, we thank everybody who joins us in the Dave's Gone By Daverhood, gives us of their time, their energy, their humor. They're friends now, friends of the Daverhood, because they've been on the show.
Alumni?
Ooh, maybe.
Because friends means anybody. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to be on someone's show to be a friend of the show.
Right, alumni of the day. They really are. They are more alumni of the Daverhood.
That's what I'm thinking, or they're graduates of the show.
Yeah, because there are friends of the show that I don't
A lot
talk.
of people are friends of the show who might not have been on the show.
Oh well, they like the show. They watch the show. Yeah, I used to call them Daver hoodlums to kind of distinguish them from people who've been on the program. I don't know. I don't because alumni, denizens. Because alumni is more exact.
Disciples.
Yeah.
What do you call somebody who performed in a show and left the show?
A veteran,
Somebody who was part of the cast but no longer part of the cast.
Was a. I can't think off the top of my head.
I don't know
if there is a
name
word
for it, but if it is, you should do that.
We need a sniglet for that word. I don't know.
We need a theater name for it.
But it would be alum. It would be an ex parte cast alum. Gotta think about that.
Like one trick. They can't be understudies because that's not.
No, understudies is a very different thing.
That means like they're underneath your show.
In a manner.
They're underneath the actor of your show.
Yes, exactly. And what a pleasant place that can be. But anywho, the alumni.
I'm just tracking.
Maybe alumni. Alumni of the Daverhood. It is more exact. There's no question about that. And we have some alumni to tell you about this week. Alumni for Dave's Gone By? No, that's not going to work. Anyway.
The
Alumers.
yesterday, the
Al.
guest stars, they appear, right? They appear and leave like a guest star. I'm trying to think someone who comes like what do you call someone who is on a show and then they leave?
I don't know.
I visit like an actor.
Yeah, we called back. They just did that. They did that for the 50th anniversary of A Chorus Line on Broadway. They had one of those things where everybody kind of a flash mob of people dancing and doing one, and they've all been in productions of A Chorus Line.
So let me ask my TV here.
What do you call that?
What do you call actors who are in a show for a long time, leave the show? What are they called?
Is there a word?
No, it says why, quitting a show. Background to lead, explained. What are the 4 types of actors? Personality, chameleon, it's types of actors.
Waiter, caregiver, voiceover.
What do you call it when an original actor returns to their role? A role reprise?
All right, well, that's
not really it.
Yeah, returnee.
What do you call an actor who leaves a show?
Foolish.
There isn't a specific term. Departing actor, exiting the cast, stepping away, retirement, creative differences, killed off or written out.
You were actually just say former.
Yeah,
former guests.
I don't know these things.
I know. Well, let me tell you about some former guests, some alumni. That really is the best word of the Daverhood.
What are some other words for alumni?
According to thesaurus.com, alumni, alum, old grad, and postgraduate.
Postgrad. Graduate.
No, not working yet. We'll think of something. But I want to wish congratulations to the great comedian Robert Klein, who was on this program a couple of years back. He was on TV on Thursday, and it marked his 89th appearance on The Tonight Show.
Wow.
Can you imagine that? I think it may be more than any other comedian.
That's
so,
super, yeah.
And he was fun. He was great. He didn't do.
He was funny. There you go.
Well, he didn't do stand up. He was on the chair with Jimmy Fallon.
Like a sidekick.
But he's definitely. I mean, Klein is in his 80s, and he's still performing. He's still Robert Klein. It's amazing. So yay to our friend of the Daverhood. I want to let you know that today Nancy Redman is in a play called "You Can't Teach a Fish to Whistle," that they're doing in Ellenville, New York. Go see it. Nancy, she was great. We love Nancy. So, yeah, that's today or tonight. And then also tonight, Eric Comstock and Barbara Fasano are out in East Hampton at LTV Studios doing Hirschfeld's Broadway. I'm not sure how you do a cabaret show based on a guy who drew pictures of Broadway, but maybe they have him in the background while they're singing.
They probably have images, yeah.
Yeah, and then they do a song from the show.
They should just do caricatures. Like, they'd be like...
Ooh, yeah. I mean, I have at least one song about someone named Nina. Yeah.
Nina.
Oh, that's the great thing that used to... Shows you how old I am. What do you need? You have... Oh, my phone?
Yeah, I usually check you on Facebook there.
Oh.
Who's Nina?
Nina was Hirschfeld's either daughter or related to him. And you would open up the Sunday paper, and there'd be a big Hirschfeld. And he would, in his drawings, he would hide the name Nina like 3 or 4 times in each, if you draw a cast of a Broadway musical. Yeah, it was curious. Find the Ninas in the Hirschfeld. It was always like a fun thing. It was great, yes. Yeah, he did that all the time. So I don't know. I can't think of any songs with Nina in the name, though. I need a man. No, I don't think that. Anywho, who else? Want to let you know that Evelyn McDonnell, our writer friend, her book, The World According to Joan Didion, has made it into paperback from Harper One. That happens on Tuesday. So if you never got the hardcover, you can get the soft cover starting on Tuesday from Harper. Evelyn McDonnell's The World According to Joan Didion. Danny Burston, excuse me, is on Broadway. Danny Burston is in Gypsy. He's playing Herbie. He's terrific, and you have only until August 17th to catch him. Now, they announced the closing of Gypsy about a week or so ago.
Oh, wow.
So make sure you see Danny Burston in Gypsy. And you just mentioned understudying. Well, our friend of the Daverhood, pretty recent too, Johanna Day, she is the understudy for Jean Smart in Call Me Izzy on Broadway.
See that?
Yeah, there was the last Broadway show I saw about 3-4 weeks ago at Studio 54. It's worth seeing. It's a woman who suffers an abusive kind of trailer trash life with a horrible husband. Well done, good to watch. She's a good actress. It is what it is. It's certainly not boring. So, but I did not see Johanna Day in it. She's our friend of the neighborhood. She might be brilliant. Not that Jean Smart was bad by any stretch. Dick Cavett, man. Dick Cavett. His voice is being used in the off-Broadway play Gene and Gilda, about Gene Wilder and Gilda Radner. That's at Penguin Repertory at 59 E59 Theaters on the upper part of Midtown Manhattan, and that is happening through the first week of September. Aladdin on Broadway, music by Alan Menken. Little Shop of Horrors off-Broadway, music by Alan Menken. Michael Garin plays piano at the Roxy Hotel Tuesdays through Saturdays. And then Vince Giordano and the Nighthawks, they play Mondays and Tuesdays, 2 shows each night at Birdland. Plus, Jim Caruso's cast party every Monday night at Birdland. Get your tickets, birdlandjazz.com. Evan Seplow is the founder and editor of StageBuddy.com. David Sheward writes for CulturalDaily.com, TheaterLife.com, and TotalTheater.com. That's the most important one. Plus, he has a blog called The David Desk. Want to remind you that Vicky Quaddy does her shows, including Late Night Catechism out there in Chicago. Charlie Gross and Leslie Hoban Blake, they co-host Two on the Aisle, which you can watch on Manhattan Neighborhood Network and YouTube. Eva Heineman does High Drama, also High Drama on YouTube. And then want to remind you that for a little while longer, you can subscribe to DrDemento.com. For Dr. Demento, still a couple more new episodes as he winds down his career, but all the archives from like the 1970s on, not quite complete, but hundreds of Dr. Demento shows are available for your demented delectation. So check those out. And a reminder to a fellow radio person, David Kenny's Everything Old is New Again airs Sunday nights on WBAI Radio. Those, my friends, are the friends of the Daverhood. Okay, so we've done that. We've gotten pretty much all we've wanted to do out of the way. We had Bunion Watch. We had Sara Farrington talking to Rabbi Sol Solomon. We did our Dave's Big Dictionary with a lot of help from you, hon, because I was a little swimming on that one. And what else did we do? We did, of course, Greeley Times here on this episode of Dave's Gone By. We still have, oh yes, folks, we still have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. Oh, what we need. Oh, this one. Actually, this one is kind of. Did you find? Yeah, we do have to do
I think what you should do then is shoot those snowballs.
Oh, you want to open that? Wait, let's do this.
So it's like a slingshot, and you put the ball and you fling it. You could just fling it, yeah.
So you sure you want me to open this?
Yeah, I think you should. We'll put it back in our little satchel there.
A snowball launcher, which by the way was 60% off, so worth every penny. Do not aim directly at people or animals, not for pets. And by the way, if you see a mascot escaping from the Thai zoo, you cannot use this to corral the escaping animal. Okay, for ages 5+, I'm opening it, I'm ruining the box.
We got 60% off of nothing.
Yeah.
But you said the little snowballs have faces.
They do, that's what make them
Because
cute.
Colorado has a lot of snow, that's what made me think of it.
All right, so now I've opened, oh, I lost one of my balls.
Oh, David, oh, it looks like, look how cute, here, take one.
Oops, sorry.
They're really cute. Look
Okay.
how cute. Do they all have the same expression?
Yeah, they're all just kind of the same. Oh, well, no, this is not true. Look,
Let me see.
he's scared.
Okay, that's that one.
He's happy.
Oh, what's the other one?
This one is also, this is more like, I think these two are kind of the same. They're both,
Yeah, look at that.
well, no, these are not exactly the same. Look,
No, oh,
this one's
no.
kind of, I don't know what that expression is.
Anxiety, it's like anxiety, like you're next up.
And he's scared. He's definitely scared. So I guess you're supposed to take this slingshot. I'm just going to put this over here for a moment. Carefully.
Oh, wait, I'll give you the lead in too.
It's like some midget's jock strap, my friends. I don't like the looks of this. So you put the ball.
Pull the slingshot away from you though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, that's the wrong way. Yeah, that's that.
So I'm going
Yes,
to
okay.
fire it over there. Oh, you watch the Okay, that was a misfire. Maybe I got to do it like this. So it's going to be like this.
Yeah.
Up. Okay. Up and over. Up and over. The ball coming. I don't know how to. The other. I do this all right with the chickens. What am I doing? Is it right? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get this done. Here we go.
Because you're holding onto the ball here. Give me one.
I can't control my balls, ladies
You
and
need the
gentlemen.
sling.
Here,
Okay.
my wife is gonna try doing this.
So what you do is you're doing this, right? And you're
Yeah.
holding it like this.
Yeah.
And then you're dropping the ball.
Yes. I'm literally dropping the ball.
I think
So
you
my wife
gotta
is gonna
do
try
like
and
this.
send it flying.
And I think, let's see. Hold on.
Yeah. All right. Hold on. Let's
You
do
try
it.
it. Just.
Well, no, you try. I'm not good at this. Here, try another one.
Okay, I'll try another one here.
Okay. And try and get it towards like this area so we see it.
Oh.
That one dropped down. It's okay.
That's what it's like.
It's not so easy.
Another one.
It didn't
Show
flame
me
to it.
the directions. Maybe
Oh,
there's-
right, yeah. Oh, hold on. Let me kick this over to you. We have it here. You can try a couple more of
Let's
these.
check it out. Watch.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Oh, I hit you over there.
I mean, they're very soft. These are not very.
Here, let me give you. You know what I'll do? Take the snowballs and try it with the. Oh, you can't. You're fling the people. Okay, let's see.
Okay, try these. All right.
Can I just see the box though,
Oh, you may.
just to see what they say?
Place snowball in launcher.
Okay.
Pull back and release. All right. Yeah. I mean, it went. Yeah.
Give me another one here. Oh, okay.
Okay. Let's try one more. Come on, you got this. There we go.
You just
That's
pull
the
it
way
back.
it's. Yeah, good
So you
job.
try it with, like,
No,
a
I don't
launcher.
want to try. I'm going to hurt myself.
No, you'll do it.
I hurt.
Grab one between your legs.
Yes, but I need the one that we bought.
There's
Oh,
one right below your chair. You don't gotta go there.
this one right here. Hold on, I got it.
You just gotta pull it back like an archer and swing it.
All right, here we
Like an
go.
archer. Bend it like Beckett. Okay.
So pull it back
Hold
and-
now pull it all the way back. Pull. Now shoot. Give me
This
one.
explains
I'll
our
shoot.
wedding night. Here we go. Look, yeah. All right, yeah.
Where did it go? Show me.
Oh, so it went rolled back to the
Okay, here, I'll
wall.
show. You gotta do it like an archer. Watch. See how like this?
Yeah.
And you pull it.
It's not easy. It's a cute toy, but we'll practice, and then next week we'll try and get it right.
Because you've engaged them but not done it. We gotta do the bunnies here. I'll
Okay.
show
Well, you do the bunnies really
No,
well.
I'll
Do
give
it.
you
Do
the
it.
bunnies here. Take
All right,
the
hold
bunny.
on. We also have a slingshot that slings rabbits at the wall because. Because.
I got this up.
Oh, thank you so much. She loaded it up
And
for
I'll
me.
give you the other one too. Just whack it.
So this one
Not at me, at the
Yeah,
wall.
no, I'm trying to figure. Okay.
Yeah, turn the
So here we go.
page.
Here's a rabbit on a slingshot.
Yeah.
Ready?
Whoa! Look what you did.
It's literally
Okay.
it's here.
And I'll give you the other one too.
So, thank you very much. Thank you. What are you doing?
Oh, David, he just jumped.
Oh.
He committed rabbit suicide.
Oh, I make the hair raising joke, but I already did that earlier in the program. That's how long this program is. You do it. Let me do a good one. Game on the wall. Yeah. Brava.
You gotta practice with this one, baby.
Brava. Anywho. Our Colorado Limerick of the Damned.
The rabbit just fell.
Yeah, because we lived in Colorado for a few years, for like 13 years, and then moved. But while we were there, I got it into my mind to write poems about as many places in Colorado as I could. As long as I could figure out a way to rhyme the name of the town, the city, the unincorporated community, whatever it was, if I could fit 3 end rhymes in, I had myself a limerick. And of course, the real challenge was also trying to make the rhymes funny and disgusting and sick and tasteless. Hence the name Colorado Limerick of the Damned. Well, today we go to Cable, Colorado. Cable, Colorado. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, as well as read you a horrible poem.
A limerick is a comic verse of 5 lines, in which lines 1, 2, and 5 will end with words that rhyme, and likewise verses 3 and 4 also end with words that rhyme. So this is a limerick. Rocky Mountain, Colorado.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Rocky Mountain High we get as we do a limerick based on a town in Colorado. This town is Cable, Colorado. It's in central eastern Co. And this is according to the website clincolncounty.com. clincolncounty.com. Cable was originally called Creech.
David, will you need the sad trombone for this?
Oh, I think I have. Did I pull that one out? Oh. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. You're so helpful today. Wow. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I was organizing all my crap.
Cable was called Creech, named after a railroad executive. People didn't like that name because it was Creech. So they changed it.
Spell the town.
Cable, like a cable.
Oh,
you know.
like a cable car.
Yeah. However, when townfolk heard that a railroad worker was mortally wounded in an accident, and also they knew that there was another town around called Cable Junction, they didn't want to be confused with it, they changed from Cable to Genoa.
I think they changed it to Xfinity Cable.
Good. Oh. Good one. So now Genoa is still around, actually. It's in fact, in April 2023, I wrote on this very program, I did a limerick about Genoa. But it's got 120 people and a post office. It's an actual real place. But Cable exists in the memory of Colorado, and therefore we do our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. And this one it's gross, but it's not in any way R or X rated. In case you were wondering. In case you and your child have been listening to the prior 3 hours and 15 minutes. Here we go. A gracious young fellow from Cable was dating a lady named Mabel. They found her remains in 7 storm drains. Turns out he was wildly unstable. Yes, indeed, our Colorado Limerick of the Damned for this Saturday, July 26, 2025. If you have a complaint about that, davesgoneby@aol.com is the place to send it, or you can, of course, message me or post right here on this Facebook page, Dave's Gone By. Please remember that, I don't think we even mentioned this, our archives are at davesgoneby.com. You can listen to every episode that we've been able to save, which is nearly every episode of the program. Back when we were just a radio show, all the audio files. Since we've been a video podcast now for about 6 or 7 years, those files all accessible for free at davesgoneby.com. Plus, we put all the same archives up at archive.org, archive.org. So if one site goes down, the other is there. You always have Daveness to turn to. We also put all our stuff on YouTube, but every other week or something, YouTube finds an old episode from 4 years ago. What happened?
Had a collision at Burbank.
Ooh, yeah.
Avoided a mid-air collision.
Avoided.
A Walker Hunter.
But yeah, YouTube. Just yesterday, I got a thing that YouTube ended up blocking some show I did 7 years ago because there was Bob Dylan music in it and it wasn't the rights. I mean, why do they wake up to the fact of something that has been on YouTube for 7 years and no fucking problem? Suddenly say, oh, well, rights, ASCAP, BMI, Little Dwarf music, whatever. It's like, stop it. Just, and meanwhile, you can put up anything from anybody and they don't have a problem. It does get muted or blocked in 10 countries. No idea. But anywho, so YouTube is not necessarily the best place to find the Dave's Gone By stuff. You can always find it at davesgoneby.com and archive.org, not to mention the audio archives at castbox.fm. If you just want to hear the audio and you're out and about and want to hear the show, you don't have to see it. Okay, so we've got all that. Remember, Rabbi Sol has a Twitter feed at Rabbi Sol Solomon. I've got a Twitter feed, Radio Dave 2. We also have an Instagram page. That's just my name. It's either david.lefkowitz or lefkowitz.dave, something like that. You can find it. The only thing we put on Instagram is the same stuff that we put on Facebook anyway.
A lot of people do that. They just take one post and do
Yeah, well, it's just marketing. It's just whatever we do.
There's probably an app, but if you made an app where you could make one post and it could populate all of your social media, I'm sure it exists.
Yeah. I mean, when I do Zoom here, it gives me the option, do I want to post live on Facebook or go live on YouTube? And half the time I'm tempted. I don't think I can do both, but...
that would be good too, yeah. I don't know if you can, I probably...
But we're still grateful for having the Facebook outlet, for doing what we do every week, and for getting through our 992nd episode of the Dave's Gone By show. I don't want to leave yet without giving kudos and a shout out to a place we stayed recently.
It's today's Marie's birthday.
Happy! I don't know if is she watching? Is that how you know?
I saw the comment.
Happy birthday, Marie!
Yeah.
It didn't come up on my Facebook feed this morning when I wish people a happy birthday.
I can't give her a sticker. I have to give her
well, I can say the full name. It's Marie Kilker, a theater critic out there in Florida. She's been a friend for us for many years through the American Theater Critics Association. She's been on the program, and she still writes for TotalTheater.com if you want to read her reviews of the Sarasota area. About theater.
Said happiest of birthdays to you.
Yes. But I don't want to end the show before I also give another kind of a shout out to a hotel we stayed at a week or so ago in New York. And it's just amazing how you get sort of settled in expectations. And if something even exceeds the expectations by just a little, you're so grateful. So we've had to go back and forth to New York like once every couple of weeks since like the end of last year. And it hasn't been a fun time, but if we need places to stay and stuff like that were convenient to the theater and convenient to, what we were dealing with. So we've been going to these hotels and they've been not rat traps and they've not been Motel 6s or anything like that. But, paying $150, close to $200 a night, which is what it is, to stay in a shoebox, an air-conditioned shoebox, a clean shoebox, nothing to really complain about, a fairly pleasant place to hang your hat. But at the same time, you knew you were just a rat in a New York maze. The whole idea of New York is, even a New York apartment, a studio apartment, a loft, it's like, this is where I crash. I'm in New York. I'm going to sleep here, I'm going to eat, I'm going to take a dump, and then I'm going back out into Manhattan because it's Manhattan. So they squirrel you into these boroughs that way, and New York hotels are like that too, particularly if they're in or near Midtown. So a few weeks ago, we stayed in a place closer, more on the Upper West Side, that had a view of Riverside Park. So the room itself was ridiculous. The room was small. It was for 2 people, except the bed was up against one wall and both walls back and front. The bed was just long enough so that, and the way the room was configured, was that there was no leg room in front of the bed, no room behind the bed, and the bed was up against this wall. So the only way you could exit the bed was on one side, which is great if you're one person. If you're 2 people, one person has to climb over the other to pee, or wake the other person up, or walk or step around them. Not to mention that this hotel did not have a coffee maker or a mini fridge. It had, you're lucky it had a sink. And yet, it was kind of nice because it had an amazing view. It had a view of Riverside Park from the window, and we were on a fairly high floor. So it was quiet, and you got to watch this lovely park. So again, it was like, this hotel is so small, and it's not right in Midtown, it's not that convenient, but oh my gosh, you lie down, and when the curtains are open, you see the sky and you see a park. Okay, it's compensatory for what we're getting and not paying $500 a night for a hotel. So this time we went to another place called the Broadway Plaza Hotel, which is in Chelsea. It's not in Midtown, but it was in the West 20s.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
And this place, you walked
near
into the room.
Foods, near Unions, near the
Well, it's a few blocks from Union
Street,
Square,
yeah,
but
but the market, I mean, really, yeah.
Yeah, it was down on Broadway, but Broadway going towards the east side, so it sort of crisscrossed before it started. Broadway became really west. And, you're in there, you walk in, and even though it is not big in any way, shape, or form, for a New York City hotel in the mid-range price line, it is big enough and arranged so that you don't walk in and go, where do I put my luggage? Is there a place under the bed to stow the luggage so I don't trip over it? It's sort of like, you get in and you can still breathe, right? Mm-hmm. And it had a working fridge. Didn't have to ask for one. Wasn't a special thing. It was like they had a fridge. Mm-hmm. And they had a coffee maker. It was an espresso as opposed to like a Keurig, but they had a coffee maker. You didn't have to, literally the hotel we stayed in the time before, if you wanted coffee, you had to go down to the lobby, and you couldn't do it before like 6:30 a.m. or something. Bring it up in the elevator that took forever. I mean, like, come on. Here, it's like, I want coffee. Splish some water in the back. Here it is. You got it, right? And it was a nice place. It was just tickling the edges of being fancy.
It felt fancy to me.
Yeah. No, not Plaza fancy, not Ritz or Trump glitz. Embellished fancy, but it had the shower and everything.
Like we were on the east side.
Yeah, it had a certain level of slight elegance, especially within the price range. So
it had marble, and it was,
Yeah, but although understand for the size of it and the layout of it. I mean, when we used to travel more and go outside of New York, and we would stay in other places, Chicago, and go to Boston, and we'd go to Atlanta, and we'd go to a hotel. It might be a Marriott, which had a suite. So we'd have our little bedroom, and then you could walk over, and there was a living room with another TV in it. And that was just normal. It was like a normal mid-range hotel. It was fine. Room wasn't the thing. You felt, it was smallish. But you felt like, okay, it's a nice, pleasant room to be in. New York, every hotel up until this last one we would stay in, is like, okay, it's small, but it's big enough for our purposes, I guess. It's a little inconvenient, and they don't have this, and they don't have that. So you get sort of like, I'll settle, until finally you get something like, I don't have to settle so much. Whereas if we'd seen this particular hotel in our travels 5 to 10 years ago, when every year we'd be going to a different state, I said, this is nice. This is typical.
Yeah, it's relative.
But it's atypical in New York, and therefore we're incredibly grateful to the Broadway Plaza Hotel for being decent, It's like, it was almost like when you're grateful for little things, It's like in the summer, like a day like yesterday, when it was 98 degrees outside. So honestly, we're in the car, most of the time, driving home, got the air conditioner blowing. It's very pleasant in the car. And then we have things to bring in from the car to the house. So I park in the driveway to get in the house. I go granular with my complaining. But it's not a complaint. This is the opposite. So I go from the car.
Don't embellish. You're embellishing.
I'm not. This is the truth. We're in the car. It's pleasant. We turn off the car. We're getting grocery, stuff out of the trunk, and we have to go into the house. Of course, we have a trunk.
We have a hatchback.
Isn't that a trunk?
No.
We're out of the hatch.
You know what a trunk is? A trunk is the thing you plunk.
No, a car has a trunk.
No, that could be the boot. A trunk is like a car where you flap the thing down. We don't have a trunk.
Well, no, we have a hatch. We have a hatch where we put behind the row of second seats in the car, we have a hatch, which is where we put our groceries and the other things we buy. So we got to get that. It's 90-something degrees. And so in between the 10 feet it takes us to walk from the car, from the driveway, into the house. In those moments, when I open the door of the house, and it's 69 degrees, because we keep it, and we walk in, and it's like, what a machaya. Oh, thank God. It's like, we were in the car. It was pleasant. We were outside for all of 20 seconds.
5 seconds.
Yeah, to open the door.
You also drag around the garbage can and you chit-chat with the neighbor who shot collars you.
That's true. Sometimes I kill a little time, but even in the 20 seconds that it takes to go from a cool, nice place to another cooler, nicer place, I'm like, So when you find a hotel that feels like that, where it's just like, oh, it's going to be another shitty New York hotel, but it'll be pleasant, it'll be passable, and we're paying,
Oasis.
And then, this is really okay.
You feel David, tonight they added 3 exercises, so they're up in the game. 3 minute, 3 minute, and 6. We got the neck and shoulder immobilizer we like. The mini core stabilizer, I don't know. Well, that might be one on the ground I can't do. Well,
one time we did a 12-minute thing. I wanted to die. Not really, but...
No, this is not for these are the ones we like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll do it. My wife and I have gone on sort of a thing to exercise a bit every day.
This one's going to be good.
Just so I don't die too young,
Circulation boost.
Ooh.
And I got the meditation one, too, and I got to get my tushy on them.
Yeah. I need an aerobic boost for lung power and...
You need a rest because you've been talking since 9 o'clock and it's 12:30.
It is 12:30.
It's 12:40 almost. It's almost 1 o'clock.
12:40 a.m. WGBB, which is not returning my texts and emails. Hello? Okay, so anyway,
what was that?
Next week, we should be here. We should be back for the 993rd episode of The Dave's Gone By, Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the stream. Live right on this Facebook page, Dave's Gone By. Hope to see you. We probably will have a guest, but I'm not sure who. And even if we don't, we'll still do what we do. So it remains for me to thank all of you, of course, for tuning in to this episode of the show. Thank you again one more time to Sara Farrington for being such a fun guest with Rabbi Sol. Remember to go see her play A Trojan Woman, which is being done in Poughkeepsie up at Vassar in the Powerhouse Theater, it's called. And that's happening just today and tomorrow. But also look out for her play that's being published in October and other things that are happening with her. And hey, fingers crossed that Dr. Moreau piece will make it to Broadway someday. Thank you to Rabbi Sol Solomon. Thank you to my darling and amazing and adorable wife. Hello, adorable wife. Hello. And thank you again for watching and supporting the show. As we move towards episode number 1,000, tell people, get us out
What's the
there.
last number? I lost it in my mind already.
This was 92. We just finished 92. We're heading to 993. And I was literally, just before we came on the air, I was reading a memoir comic book by comedian Tom Segura. And he was saying, he was knocking on doors. He was a journeyman comedian who was getting 10-minute spots. He trod the road to get where he is. Right? And he was ready. He felt he was ready to get that hour-long comedy special on HBO that transforms your career and makes you like a well-paid, well-known comedian, and it just wasn't happening. And he couldn't get on comedy.
Funny.
What?
Potato wants that he's diabetes is acting up. He has a catch-up emergency.
Oh, all right, hold on.
He's
Oh,
got
wait,
diabetes.
do you have a catch-up thing there?
I think we do.
This is very important. Potato's sugar is
He knows it's not real though.
okay, Potato, I'm sorry. I've been telling the Tom Segura story, so here you go. So, you okay? More? Okay. So he's saying that he couldn't get, he was, doing all right, he was getting gigs, but he would get his pay for doing it, but he wasn't a name, he wasn't bringing in people. People would see him at the clubs, and he'd kill, but nobody would go and pay money to go see a Tom Segura.
What do you call mainliner?
Yeah, because that
not mainliner.
Headliner.
The leading act.
But he was already headline. He was already the main act.
The word I couldn't think of was called headlining. Yeah.
But he still couldn't get a name for himself because he couldn't get a special on Comedy Central or on HBO or whatever. So what do you do? He said, enough of that. I can't. Nothing's happening. So he taped he audioed his own gig at a really good club in I forget what city it was. Yeah. Released it as a record album. Put that out on CD Baby. Yeah, well, a CD. And we're not talking 40 years ago. We're talking only about 10 years ago. CD Baby, comedians could still sell a CD and then bring it to a gig, sell that.
That's still true now? People listen to CDs?
I think to some extent. There's still a generational thing. Like our library still has them and is useful. But it's also downloadable. It's also... And he said to himself, I could have offers from... record companies to put this stuff out. But then they take most of the money, and all they're going to do is mainly sell it online anyway. Sell downloads. So to sell it on Amazon, I can do this and keep everything. So he did, and that helped by DIY, by him being out there and getting the record out. That got him a half-hour special on Comedy Central, which made a little bit of money. And then eventually Netflix came to him when Netflix wasn't quite where it is right now. It was just ramping up.
Starting up
in like the 2010s era. And then Netflix said, okay, yeah, we want an hour-long special from you. And then he became Tom Segura. So, this idea of, it's a very empowering chapter of like, just do it. Just, if nobody else is going to do it for you, get out there, get it done. And then things, at least it worked for him. Things will build. It won't be overnight. Right? And it won't be as soon as you think it's going to happen or should happen, right? People say, well, you weren't really ready for the Netflix special 3 years earlier. But it probably was, right? But time works in the way time works. And he helped nudge things along. So help nudge this show along by telling more people about it that we're here every Saturday morning from 9 until noon or thereabouts doing Dave's Gone By. Hun, thank you again. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week and gone by.
Days gone by. Days gone by.
Oh, I think your drumming nicely embellished that song. Where's my $100?